couple of sessions ago that I should actually start, like, have like a preload thing for when I start the stream, where it's like the stream is starting soon or something like that, like you see on most people that actually do this professionally and with any kind of quality whatsoever. But I realized that I was like, you know what? For consistency's sake, I'm just not going to until maybe season 2. Like, I'll just finish out the season by just cold open, just bullshitting for like 3-4 minutes, and then just rolling into the start. I've been really lazy. I haven't been cutting off, like, I haven't been adding the start here links in the YouTube descriptions, but oh well. Oh, no. Oh. Pause my own stream. Got all that stuff. I'm guessing Bones is having technical problems. Maybe.
Like maybe his mic's not working. You should type something in the chat if you can. If you hear
maybe he doesn't hear us either. See no evil, hear no evil.
You having issues.
I'm gonna put that actually in the title. Edit.
I thought you were gonna say you're gonna put that in the title. What? The fact that there's only 3 of us?
I'm gonna put finale in the title. Put finally. Finally.
Banana now.
Well. It seems like we don't know what's going on with Bones. I think I'll just roll in.
Don't know what's going on. Don't know what's going on.
Well, we think Dado's coming.
Yeah,
looks
he did shut down his stream.
Yeah, he closed out, so he's probably just heating up his food or whatever. Speaking of heating up his food,
I was hoping to get you subtly, but
then the gentle wave just turned into hurling a giant rock.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta hurl big rocks. Whatever, that's close enough to as many people. Bones is kinda here. He's been here for like a good while, but hasn't said anything or done anything, so we don't know if he's actually here. So.
Alright, I'm logging in. Give me a minute or two to
Yeah, no, that's
get all
fine.
settled up.
I was going to lead us off with previously on Dungeons & Dragons. The gang continued to explore the Amber Temple. I guess they started to explore the Amber Temple, since you guys didn't really do much on your first session in here. So they began to explore the Amber Temple. They found the charred remains of the dude that Wacky chased off in here. Moving through the temple, they found an amphitheater, sort of a lecture hall, we'll call it. There they met a scared, half-burnt man. He seemed kind of out of it. He seemed to be a wizard's apprentice, saying that him and his master, they came here, they were exploring, wanted to discern some of the temple's secrets. And his master got attacked by flame skulls and roasted alive. He managed to barely make it out, but it looks like he lost like half his scalp in the process. Bones proceeded to traumatize him and horribly abuse him, which didn't go well. And then the guy ran off. He was trapped in that lectern hall for quite some time as a giant amber golem was kind of stomping around outside of it down the hallway like a sentry. The gang beat up the amber golem. Pyro had a moment of pure, unadulterated cowardice as he watched Jez get flattened like a pancake. That was amusing. You guys blew you blew up the amber thing. The apprentice, escaped. He ran off. You proceeded downstairs where a giant statue started shooting things at you. It turns out inside the statue's face was some kind of jackal man who pieced out once you kind of started making enough headway to start hitting him back. He's like, nope, GTFO. And he got the heck out of there. So as you guys kind of finished exploring around, you also ran into a lich. You woke him up. He was lying on the ground napping. You guys woke him up, and he kind of just wandered off. But
and then we went to those sarcophaguses.
Oh yes, you guys found some amber sarcophagi that Casimir seemed to take an interest in, but didn't seem to really be what he was looking for. Lawage touched one of the sarcophagi and seemed to make some kind of deal with something inside, and now seems to be able to climb on the walls like Spider-Man. Pyro touched one of them, and you weren't really sure whether or not he had made some kind of dark bargain for his soul or whatever was going on. But it turns out no, he did not. Sucks.
I touched one, but then I realized if I come back, I'll probably be naked. That'll be really awkward.
Yeah.
Tool known as Blake found out that he is not.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he chickened out. Did not take the massive boost to charisma he would have received.
What a puss.
Basically, if he had made his charisma saving throw, he would have got a huge stat boost with no downside. That one was a freebie.
I mean, it would just feel a little bit more. The downside is that he has to keep pushing on everything he asks for.
Well, yeah, the downside is he would have received the flaw, I will not take no for an answer. But
We're back. I gotta go to the bathroom.
Yep.
And possibly become evil.
Possibly. There's only a chance for becoming evil. So, you guys, after sort of dealing with the statue man, and after dealing with some ghosts in what seemed to have been an abandoned treasury, you guys started making your way back out into the main temple hall, and you were approached by a dusk elf, the token of which I could not find for the life of me, even though he was 10 feet away. He was like literally, this fucking token was like right here. Like right here. I couldn't see it in the wall. You ran into a dusk elf who approached you and introduced himself as Rahadin, the Castellan of Castle Ravenloft. He said he happened to be here at the temple, and he heard a ruckus inside. He decided to pop in, check it out, and lo and behold, he finds the people that have been giving his master a hard time. So he thought he would, come down and basically be all threatening and evil towards you. And that is where we left off, and that is where we will continue. And so Casimir, he steps forward, and you see him kind of pull off like the hood. As far as you've ever seen, Casimir's always had like a cloak hood on, and he just kind of like pulls it down, and you see that both of his ears are just missing, and the flesh is all just kind of like scarred up, and he just kind of like points at Rahadin and says, "Rahadin is the one who slaughtered all of the Dusk Elf women and did this to me for what happened to my sister. Under Strahd's orders, he ensured the failure of our race." And you hear him like kind of. It sounds like he swears or says something like really awful. Do any of you speak Elvish or Elven?
Yep, sure do.
Pretty sure
Yeah, you basically hear him say like the word traitor in Elvish.
Traitor
like under his breath.
pulls down his boomstick.
Rahadin, like, he's got his scimitar already out and ready to go, and he's just kind of waving it around, and he's just doing the whole bad guy monologue thing, where he's got it out, and he's, like, looking at it, and playing around with it in his hand, and he's like, Casimir, is that you? It's been a long time since I've seen you. It's like, You, of all people, should know that you brought this on yourself. I mean, it was you, after all, who organized the stoning of your poor sister. I was merely carrying out the master's wishes. You see Casimir kind of like withdraw back and prepare, I guess, his whatever he uses for an implement.
Alright, I'm
User
here.
joined your channel.
I don't know what he uses as an implement, but he prepares some kind of object in his hand menacingly. Rahadin takes another step forward and says, "Usually, the master likes to, play with his food before he eats it, but you've done enough to anger him that I don't think he will mind if I take care of you myself." And he says to you all, please roll initiative. As we start the season finale off with a bang. I gotta roll for Pyro.
And the watch.
No, Lawaj just showed up. He's in the roll 20.
I was asleep.
Really? 6? Wow.
Asleep.
I
this
just
time of night?
deleted... Oh, I did delete the right person. Okay, good.
Your initiative.
Initiative!
Decent.
Casimir. Rahadin. That'll be Casimir. That's not bad. That'll be Rahadin. That's off the table. That'll be Rahadin. That's even better. What's your dex, buddy? Oh, your dex is enormous.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot about that.
It's almost like he's using a dex-based weapon.
So he's 21. Casimir got a 17. Pyro got a 5. Yeah, that seems about right. Good thing we're keeping up our consistency here. Okay, so Rahadin will start things off by walking forward. Yes, and to remind everybody, Wacky is invisible.
Probably skewer me. Oh boy.
So he's going to walk forward. As he does, as he kind of walks into within a short range of Bones, you and Jez, you both hear screaming. That sounds like thousands of voices, like men, women, children, all screaming out in pain and agony, and it's just deafening, inside your head, and it feels like it's coming from him. And he's going to attack Bones 3 times with his scimitar. That's a 14. I'm pretty sure that doesn't hit you. That's an 18. That's an 18. That's a 26.
Those two will hit.
You're going to take 10 and 9, so 19 slashing damage total.
Cool.
And both of you need to make a Wisdom saving throw.
Saving throw.
So basically, the screaming in your head is so loud and just deafening that it's hurting your mind. Jez does not make it. Bones does not make it.
Wow. 14 didn't do it, huh? Bummer.
No, you just missed it. So you guys are going to both take 11 psychic damage.
Cool.
And that is Rahadin. Luaj.
Bones is dead.
Oh.
Wow.
So, the screaming is too much, and Bones collapses to the floor. I wish I had queued up music, but I was busy cleaning instead of prepping right before we started. And I forgot to do it last night when I was looking at this stuff.
Here.
I feel like Magus's theme would have been good for Rahadin.
Get nice and behind Jez. And
Shoot him in the back.
then... No. Not yet. Only
Makes
when
more
it seems
sense.
absolutely hopeless.
Only when it seems hopeless to attack.
I am convinced that Waj will betray us at some point.
That's a hit.
Oh.
And Bones is unconscious, right?
Yeah, Bones collapsed to the ground.
Well, damn it, Bones. I can't get sneak attack. Fuck you.
You could have gone up there.
Sorry.
You could have waited.
And then go over here.
Yeah,
It's a
you
cat.
could
I
have.
was like, what is that noise?
You could have also. You could have also held your action and waited for Jez to get in there.
Nah.
Or
that-
Dusty. Dusty might run in there to... You can also move yourself a little bit forward, Dado. I wasn't sure you're going to be here in time to actually be in this fight, so I stuck you way back in the doorway because I figured that's where you would be.
Okay, I thought I was a little bit closer when.
No, you were like here, so if you want to be in like this
Yeah,
area, you can be.
okay.
I just figured that's kind of your MO. Be like way behind cover so you can't get
Yeah.
hit, and then just snipe at them. So with you not here, that's just what I ended up doing with you. So that's Lodge. Casimir is really thinking about just fireballing, just right in front of like that hole. He wants to fireball Rahadin.
I mean,
Wouldn't it be better to just use low?
if he gets a good roll, he
different-
might kill me.
Yeah.
So Casimir is going to channel his rage at this man, and he's going to just kind of move himself over, get himself a better kind of line of sight, even though he doesn't need it. He's going to cast a fireball that engulfs Rahadin, but it's going to be centered high enough. Luckily, this room is gigantic, and luckily you are not, like, because this is kind of the arched area that's got like the walkway. So right above where you guys are right now, actually, yes, right above where you guys are now is just open all the way up to the ceiling, and the ceiling's probably a good 40-50 feet at least.
So he's just fireballing.
Yeah, so he's going to fireball in the air, engulfing basically the top half of Rahadin, and just kind of missing Bones by like a foot or two. Luckily for Bones, he's like lying prone, so he can just skim it like 2 feet off the floor. Rahadin's going to make saving throw, dex saving throw, and he's going to probably hit that no problem. 18, is that enough? I think that's enough. What is your saving throw, Casimir? Where are you? It's 10th level spellcaster, 15, so he does make it, so let's do this. Roll 86. Whoosh. That's not a very good roll. 27, so half of 27. 26, 13. 13 fire damage to Rahadin. And Casimir is going to just continue to sort of back up a bit. And Dusty, it is your turn.
Okay.
And I heard my phone ding. Oh, I should mute that.
I'm over here. And gonna do a little bit of this right here. Let's do a little bat. I hit nothing.
Gonna hit on the 19.
Feels bad.
8 fire damage.
Let's see what a firebolt would have done. Yep, would have been way better. All right.
I mean, assuming you hit.
Jez, it is your turn.
Well, I got the second wind already. Good start. Good start to that too.
Nice.
I'll move into his side. And sunsword the fuck out of him.
Here we go. We're gonna.
13's not gonna hit him,
No, it will not.
right?
13? Oh no. You see that he is in like studded leather, like very nice, crafted studded leather.
What about 17?
17 is just a miss.
You.
I guess it doesn't matter when, as long as I'm up, so I'll action surge.
Action surge!
Action surge. Surgeon.
That's
there
gonna
you
hit.
Yeah, that'll
I'm gonna
absolutely
make that
hit.
disarming attack. Make a DC 15 strength save.
He makes it by 1. No, by 0. He rolls a 15.
And one more. That's not good.
Nope. But you do get
killing me.
14 radiant damage on him.
Hey, I hit as many times as you did.
Very true. You also
Wacky.
Potato.
Doesn't the Sun Sword get an extra roll?
Nope, he's not undead. He's just a Dusk Elf.
Not bad. I must have missed that part.
No, he's just haunted by the screams of the thousands of people he killed.
Got it.
Yeah.
Well, not haunted, because he can't hear them.
Oh.
It's only you guys
As an
that can hear
action,
them.
I'm going to
Can I
cast
yell
heat
back at him?
metal
You're
on his
not
sword.
helping.
You're dead.
It's not your turn, Bones.
I cast heat metal on his scimitar.
Blah, 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 blah. You know, blow
Badass
any creature,
spell.
physical contact. So he's going to take... Does he get any kind of a roll to hold on to this, though?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
he
there's
gets
a...
con save, I think.
yeah, it is. Must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or drop the object if it can.
Constitution saving throw! I think he's going to fail that. I
DC
don't
should
think...
be 15.
Oh, yeah. So 10 is lower than 15. So he goes... Ha-ti-ta-ti-ta, and he drops his scimitar on the
And as a
ground.
bonus action, I'm going to cast this for Bones.
So Wacky is no longer invisible. She is
Yep.
perfectly visible.
And then I'm going to back up.
Cast a level 3 healing word.
Well, because healing word is also the only one she can do at a range. That she probably has. Bones, you are alive again with 10 health.
Sure. I'll take it. Alrighty then. Let me check something real quick because I forgot what the wording on this is. Up the monastic.
I would do this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's an action.
Yeah.
Let's...
I was gonna say, that's a really big sword.
Red
Okay.
hot scimitar.
Alright, so we're just gonna try to bonk him. So bonk 1.
It's a miss. Oh, I
And
forgot to
bonk
give him the 8 fire damage.
Clearly a miss.
That is also a miss.
Alright, I'm going to flurry of blows on him.
Okay.
We're gonna try to punch him. Oh, punch!
18 is just a hit.
Wait, I will trip him.
You don't think this is gonna be terribly effective? Yeah,
But I'll...
he jumps your leg like a jump rope.
Cool. I'm gonna punch him again.
Nope.
Miss. And I'm going to run away.
He is over the cap in dexterity.
Apparently,
Jesus.
we're all on the effects of slow, and we can only get 1 damage a turn.
Yeah.
Much.
Yeah, right.
I'm actually gonna go around the corner.
Okay. I just had to double check the screaming. As you move farther away from him, the screaming seems to subside. Pyro, no idea that they're screaming. He's just gonna come running right in there. He's like, yeah! Yeah, I'm gonna hit this guy, guys. Yeah. Where's Talon?
Yeah, hit him.
Uh,
Smag him. Smag. Smag his ass.
maybe. That's a miss.
Ooh, that is
just a miss. He's gonna smack him again. That'll hit. For like no damage.
Find smite, you fool! He would never do that, of course.
It might be better to save them for heal.
Kind of what I was thinking
So all of a
too. Mike's
sudden,
probably gonna get Bledger out here real
Okay.
soon.
Bones tries to yell something to Pyro about Divine Smite, and he's like, well, I can't. There's so many people screaming. Where all these people come from? Is it? Like,
From
I
your
hear
sword,
so
Pyro.
many people.
From your sword.
The sword is talking to you. Good one.
So spell ends. 1 minute. Okay. So, rather than picking up his red hot scimitar, he's going to draw a dagger from his belt. He's going to make a dagger attack on Jez. That's a crit. He's going to make a dagger attack on Pyro. That's a miss. He's going to make another dagger attack on Pyro. That is 22. That'll be a hit. God damn it, I gotta get D4. Fucking D4.
Haha, make you roll the.
Oh, wait, I gotta roll that twice. So 10 damage on Jez. 10 damage on Jez, 8 damage on Pyro. I'm controlling Pyro, so... Bloop. And then Bonus action! Both of you guys make wisdom saving throws as the screams penetrate your mind.
Oh, it did good that time.
Jez. I cannot roll wisdom saving throws as Pyro. Clearly. So Jez, you're going to take half of... That's not a very good roll. Jez, you're going to take 7. Pyro's going to take 14. And Pyro is down to 7 health.
Christ. Oh my god.
And
Hey.
Rahadin, like, kind of, like, kicks at his sword a little bit. And it kind of sizzles when he, like, touches it with his boot. And he just kind of, like, frowns at it. And
Pyro
watches
has
his
a
turn.
turn. He can heal himself.
Oh, okay. Because I can't
I
even
don't know
answer
how
him.
much. I don't know how much of the what's it called? He still has left though. Lay on hands.
I don't think he's used
I don't know.
any,
I don't
has
think
he?
he's using it because
He hasn't been
when
here.
when
He
I
hasn't
asked
been
for it the
healing
last
anyone.
time, he ended up just taking a short rest instead.
Yeah, I don't think I've used any. I'm pretty sure I haven't. Because I would have found some way to mark it down if I had. Doesn't miss. He deflects it away with his little dagger.
I'll go back over here and do that.
Okay.
Yay.
Casimir. Oh, what is Casimir? He doesn't have a lot of things that he can really use at this moment because Rahadin is surrounded by allies.
Can he hold him?
No. No, he cannot.
What kind of caster is he, anyways? Is he a druid, wizard, cleric? What is he?
He's a spellcaster.
General spellcaster.
He's never told you what kind of spellcaster he
We've
is.
never asked him.
Yeah.
I was just curious if we knew.
Casimir's just gonna kind of run down here, flank past Dusty to get in firebolt range.
We can assume he's not a cleric because of firebolt.
13 plus what? Enough to hit. That's not very good damage. 8 fire damage to Rahadin.
Better than 0.
Casimir is pretty much as far out as he can get. Dusty.
Far out.
Yeah, 'cause he can't really use any of his big, powerful spells because you guys are just crowded in around him.
That's
Like,
what melee does.
you can't, like, fireball him, or you can't even, like, lightning bolt him because you guys will get shocked by it as well.
The old dat sweat, the old dust. The fucking 1 second there. Here it's had it in the book, right? That looks weird. Yeah, I typed it in. Looks weird. Gonna do. We're gonna try out fucking this. We'll blam.
The fuck?
Oh, rip.
Nope. Feels bad.
Oh, that's kind of neat. I don't think I've ever paid that, or I've completely forgotten what Witch Bolt does. Jez!
It's a warlock thing, I think, but I guess wizards can get it too.
The Wizards can get a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of overlap.
They both are arcane casters. For some reason, they get the same spells.
Do, 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 do,
What a
do.
cleric.
If I had access to that.
That's a
That's
miss.
gonna miss. Nope.
That is a hit.
I will make that a trip attack.
For the
Thanks for
hot
that
one.
I think that is going to succeed. Yes, it is. You trip him, and he sort of kind of like lands. He doesn't land too hard. Like, you don't really trip him and hurt him all that much, but you've knocked him off balance.
That one damage was probably him accidentally touching a bit of it with his pinky, bit of the sword with his pinky.
Why can't I? Math is not working. Math's not working. Wacky. Your turn.
Pretty easy to add 8 to 1.
Move over here. I'm going to cast, or use Vicious Mockery on him.
stop rolling off the table. Succeed. 16 enough? Yeah, 16 enough.
Yep. Oh well. And that's my turn.
Bones.
Yay, my turn. Alright, so we're gonna just come and running. And he's
Oh my
tricked
god,
right now, right?
everyone's so
Yep.
low on health.
I know. But it's okay, I
My
got
nightmare.
this. I got a plan. I got advantage on these attacks, so here we go.
There
Yep.
you go.
Yeah. So I'm going to attempt a stunning strike on a 13.
Oh, you're a silly sausage.
He rolls a 27 on his con saving throw.
Jesus.
Cool. Math on this one. Yeah, it's impossible for me to do it. So I'm gonna
Miss.
Not? bonk him again. Wow. Cool. I'm then going to take my bonus action and do Step of the Wind and double move, get the hell out of there.
So just 10. Big damage. Pyro is going to take 2 swings. Because that's all he knows how to... Oh, you know what? No, he's not. He's going to fucking lay on hands himself. I'm going to lay him on... What is he? He's level 6, so he's got up to 30. He's going to lay on hands for 20.
Knocking him down helped a whole lot, guys.
I mean,
Yeah, you know what? Pyro would want to not die.
Yeah.
You know what? Fuck it. No, he's just going to give himself the full 30. Does he have Healing Word? I don't think he does.
Doubt it.
I don't think he has anything else to heal himself with. Spellbook. He has Bless, Cure Wounds, Thunder Smite, Divine Smite, Bane, Hunter's Mark. He has Hunter's Mark?
Yeah, because of Vengeance Paladin.
I don't think even he knows he has Hunter's Mark. So, he's never used it.
Yeah.
He's also got something else that's actually pretty good that I don't think he knows he has, which is I think is funny. Considering how bad he's been getting beat up, I'm just gonna say fuck it. He's gonna burn it all. Otherwise, he's not gonna last long here. That is his turn.
Pretty much know those feels.
I don't know. Holding the 10 is not probably all that beneficial. I know he probably would have just done like 15 or 20, and it would have been kind of a waste of time. I janked one of those dice. One attack on Pyro is a miss. Second attack on Pyro is a hit. Third attack on Jez is 19 hit you?
That's my AC.
Ooh.
I'm gonna reduce that. There you go.
By 1. 6.
yes!
So he's gonna only hit Pyro.
I will make
well
that a
played.
riposte attack after you're done.
8 damage to Pyro.
I only roll ones on cutting words. Only ones.
Please hit.
You haven't been rolling
Oh,
very great
cry.
this attack.
Oh, I forgot to say it at the beginning of his turn, but yeah, he stands up clearly. He uses half his movement to stand up from prone. And then he's going to shift in around. He's going to squeeze in between you two. As he kind of... Basically, he's going to tuck and roll. Like, between your guys, like, between the two of you. Get up. And Jazz, Pyro, and Wacky, wisdom saving throws. As all of a sudden, Wacky, you hear just horrible
Really good at
screaming and
those.
just
I bet I'm better.
the screaming.
Oh, I'm down.
Wacky fails, Jez fails. Pyro's not going to do it until I do it for him. Maybe. Just fucking barely.
Jeez.
So I rolled 18 damage. So 18 to Jez, 18 to Wacky, 9 to Pyro. Pyro did not need all that healing after all. But then, whatevs. Lawage.
Poke out.
Oh, good.
Really, really think about shooting Wacky in the back.
Hey, fuck you, I'm your healer.
Fuck you, I kill you, maybe you let me live.
That doesn't make
I
any sense.
really don't think so.
No. At this point, you don't really think that he would. That is a hit. And your sneak attack is good. So 20 big damage. He reels from that. That seems to hurt him a fair bit. And then Lawage runs and hides. Because he's a rogue. That's what rogues do.
Rouge.
Casimir sees his opportunity. Sees his opportunity now with Jez lying prone on the floor. And he fires a lightning bolt right through here. Just high enough that it doesn't hit Jez. Like, basically takes out the whole side of Rahadin. Rahadin makes a dexterity saving throw, and he makes it. No problem. But I believe lightning bolts. 8d6.
Same as fireball. Yep.
30 damage. Let's cut to 15. 15 damage, though, still pretty good.
That's like just 1 point under average.
So that's Casimir's turn. Dusty.
8.
I should actually be keeping better track of.
His spell slots.
Yeah, so that's... Does he not? Oh, my bad. He doesn't actually have Fireball. I could have sworn he had Fireball.
Wow.
Unless
Pull it out
it's
of
missing
his
off
butt
this
somehow.
map. I think he does. I think it's just missing off this list.
Worst case, you just say it was a lightning bolt and it didn't hit anybody.
Yeah. Well,
I
yeah.
think his actual stats, like the mage stats, is what has fireball on it.
I wonder... Well, no, because I've got everything else. It just... They may have just forgot. Like, they may have missed that one. I'm using a thing off of Obsidian Portal that somebody had made for their own campaign of Casimir's stat block. There's also a chance they may have, like, hand-waved out Fireball, because there's so many fire things in the Tamber Temple, and they gave him something else instead.
Yeah, true.
So fuck it, whatever. I'm pretty sure he has it, so I'm just gonna say he has it. Fuck it. Anyways, Dusty, what are you doing?
Great question. That is a great MF question.
Where do you run into Casimir? He's in here.
Because I know we got another huge ass fight coming up after this. But I
Somewhere.
don't really want to use
Listen, that wolf's gonna take a while to get there.
You know what? This spell list for Casimir is completely wrong. He does actually have hold person. He also,
Rip.
he also has polymorph.
I could have swore because I'm pretty sure I used that against the what's it called, dude?
This is what you get when you rely on somebody else's work.
So now you're shooting him in the back. with
Dado.
the lightning bolt.
I
Lightning.
too am going to try and lightning bolt him.
Before you cast it. So the thing with lightning bolt is it's basically like a 5-foot beam. So
Oh.
you may need to.
Slightly adjust so I don't kill people.
Yeah, because from where you are, it's gonna basically slam into that pillar mostly.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you go up like say beside Wacky, like around here or something like that, or I guess
Or-
down there you can probably just kind of get him in the back.
You can also shoot it
Okay.
over top of my body.
Yeah, because you can shoot over Jez because he's lying prone right now.
Okay. I thought I could sneak it in that way, but I'll take
Well, no,
it.
you know it's big. It's 5 feet wide, 5 feet tall. Like it's just, it's not what you expect it to be, like a lightning bolt of this skinny little thing that snakes through. No, it's just like this column of lightning.
Yeah.
Like it's
All
kind
right.
of fucking ridiculous.
Like that.
2 lightning bolts just streak past me. I'm terrified.
Yeah, sure, I'll give it to you. I'll give you that you've basically tried to get yourself into a spot where you can't hit anybody, unless you really want to hit somebody. Dexterity saving throw, which he has actually almost failed. Jeez. So half a 27, 13. So he's looking rough. He's looking
13 crisp damage.
He's looking real rough as he just kind of... he just kind of head fakes past one lightning bolt, and he just like tucks in his like back to get by the other lightning bolt. He's looking bad. He's looking
Just
real,
about
real
to cast
bad.
Firebolt on the next one.
Jez, death saving throw. Hey,
Oh my god.
Jez's
God
eyes just
bless.
spring open, and like he just gasps.
He's like Jon Snow.
So
You wouldn't be that far from the truth with the powers that this character would get at like level 14.
you.
Spring open, spring up, and I'm gonna slash this fucker's face.
Well, your eyes spring open, and you just very slowly like just like crawl to your feet. But it's enough that everyone's like, "Holy shit, he's not dead."
I gotta get a ruling on the lightsaber of the sun sword. Does it go out when I fall down? Like a lightsaber.
I think it's a bonus action to extend it, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. It's more for flavor because I don't have anything else. to
I
do
would
with
say
my-
yes.
Oh.
I would say like as if you lose consciousness, the blade goes away.
Then I will call the blade.
Yeah, I don't think you have anything that you were gonna use the bonus action on anyway. So
Swing at him once.
Gonna call it.
that's gonna hit.
I'm gonna trip him.
I'm not a mean enough DM that like Jez goes to swim and like, so your blade is gone, so you just hit him with the hilt and it only does like 2 damage.
Hey, I'm thinking for future, anyways. So I'm gonna try to trip him.
He's gonna. So you kick him in the knee, and he kind of stumbles back down, and he's just like tries to push himself back up, but he's kind of lying there prone, kind of half prone. He's looking like your little image there. He's like on his hands and knees. If you have another swing, you can go ahead and swing it.
With advantage or not advantage?
Yes, with advantage. And you thrust your lightsaber into Rahadin, and he just kind of like collapses down onto the ground.
I'm thrilled by this.
So
Do I keep, like, killing things just after dying?
So you stab him, and you see for the first time like a big smile on Casimir's face. It's the first time you've seen him like even remotely happy since you've met him. You guys kind of like breathe a sigh of relief, and then you hear Rahadin kind of start laughing. He's laughing sort of in between like choking up like and coughing up blood, and he just kind of like rolls over, and he says, "It's like this." Killing me is pointless. The Master, you will be here soon, and this place will become your tomb. Mark my words, none of you will leave here alive. And he just like continues to like just laugh and cough, and then he just kind of goes limp. And as he does, you notice the screaming that all of you around him have been hearing seems to just fade away and disappear. And he is...
Here's hoping that they got some rest.
What's he worth? He's worth a fair bit. You guys get 842 XP each.
Yay.
Casimir's like, yeah, I'm getting all this XP. Awesome. So Jez is at 1 health.
Yeah, I'm at 5.
I'm gonna get rid of Casimir's aura of death around him.
Casimir has an aura of death too.
Or not Casimir, Rahadin's.
So even you're getting them confused.
42.
Tuskells, they all look the same. Oh yeah, I forgot to use my portrait
Oh,
of Cat.
shove off.
Took all that.
18795.
Took all that time to put his portrait in the thing. I didn't use it for anything. Rahadin. Basically, it just looks like an evil Vulcan.
Yep. It looks like Spock's father.
Oh, and bite me.
So, Casimir goes over and like kicks Casimir's corpse like a couple of times, like really fucking hard.
Kicks his own corpse.
I know what he meant.
Whatever. Fucking Dusk Elves. They all look the same.
Ow.
Dusk Elf
ow.
1 kicks Dusk Elf 2.
Yeah. Rahadin
I
kicks
just-
the
I
other
dispelled the
Rahadin.
heat metal at this point.
Is there what?
I guess I picked. I dispelled the heat metal
Yep.
on the
let it go.
scimitar. Yeah, like.
So,
I mean, we have that now. I don't know if
yeah,
anyone
you guys
wants
now have a somewhat warped and kind of pitted scimitar. It used to look like a scimitar of quite
Got a better one.
exquisite design in that. It was not super fancy because it was more utilitarian, because this was a guy who clearly uses his weapons quite often. But it does look like it was of particularly high quality design, or at least it was. Now the blade's all kind of misshapen and pitted, and figure you could probably get it banged up into shape, but other than that, the damage on it indicates, at least to you, that you assume that this is not magical or special in any way.
What about
I
the
will.
rest of his stuff?
I will pick up the dagger and say, "Here, have another dagger."
Yeah, and so
Sure.
Cast
Now I
it
have
back
11
in.
daggers.
on him, you find that he is wearing a suit of now full of holes, studded leather. He's got like a big furry, like big fur-trimmed cloak on to sort of keep the cold out, and he has a small coin pouch that has 50 platinum in it. And on the side of each platinum coin is stamped the visage of Strahd von Zarovich.
500 gold, right?
Yep.
I'm just gonna lay next to this for a second.
Is there anything special about the dagger?
Nope.
Alright.
It's got a slight curve to
We say
it.
we split it evenly since Pyro's
Is it
not
a
here.
dagger we need to have so that he has a weapon again?
Well, he would also have,
Yeah.
someone that's been killing as long as he has is not going to, not just going to have one weapon only.
Most everyone has a dagger just because they're good for cutting food with.
Yeah. So
If
basically,
anything.
it's more of a curved dagger that kind of looks like it's of the same, probably made by the same person who made the scimitar. So they're kind of like a matching set. So it's got a little bit of a curve and kind of a hook. It's like a little mini scimitar. Doesn't make it any different, really, than a standard dagger, but it looks nicer.
So how about we take a rest?
I was gonna say, you guys need a short rest?
Ow. Yeah,
Long
be
rest is
nice.
what we need, but I don't know if we have that kind of time.
Here, I'm gonna...
As you guys start like sitting down, you see Casimir's he starts kind of pushing into the hallways, like I don't know why you're all waiting. Like, if he's correct and Strahd is on his way here, we may not have much time.
Before we get the fuck out of here.
We might not have much time. if we keep
Yeah,
pushing it.
like... Ow.
Well, he means we as in like everybody, because he doesn't really want to be here when Strahd shows up either.
We accomplished our mission here.
No.
Nope,
No.
no,
We haven't
not
been
even
very
close.
far in here.
That healing was for you, Jez. I don't have any more 3rd level spell slots.
So
Fine.
you guys are close
gonna be
enough
rough.
that as you guys kind of start making your way sort of through this arched hallway, as you're all kind of like crowded around near Rahadin, you notice that the arched hall here rises to about a height of 20 feet. You imagine this is, if the temple was built symmetrically, that this would go underneath a long walkway, like you guys fought the Amber Golem in on the other side. You also notice that there is an amber glaze to the walls here, much like a lot of the walls. And inside the glaze, you see your reflections. But the images don't seem to be mirroring your movement. Instead, they wave their arms and scream silent warnings to you.
Hey, reflection, can you point me to where our
Cat-
objective is?
As Casimir continues to sort of like make his way forward, he looks, and he seems to like sort of look and acknowledge these. Oh, and he takes Dusty with him. As he spins around, he kind of looks at them, and then he just kind of ignores it.
I'm down a
Right.
health potion.
Oh yeah, I might have one of those.
Was it 2d4 plus 2?
This is what you do. You do this.
What do I have? I have an herbal healing potion if anyone wants that. And I have one regular healing potion.
Pyro moves up to the wall and tries to communicate with his reflection. and probably does
I-
that for a good couple of
I'll
minutes.
take one of those healing potions.
No,
if
you
there's
guys
only
can
one
have
give.
them. I'm full health.
Yes, you are.
Pyro spends a minute trying to like talk to
I'll take the regular
Reflection Pyro, and
Okay.
it doesn't really seem to do any good.
Who wants the herbal healing potion?
I guess I'll take it.
There you go, take it.
I'll drink it.
I'll have my own
That's
herbal
sick,
healing potion.
possible 5 healing.
No, it's what did I say? Oh, 1d4 plus 1d4 plus
Yeah.
1. Yeah, it's
I'm gonna focus my chi and heal myself. I drink the potion now. Probably should, huh?
May as well.
Doesn't
The rest of
matter
us are
when.
doing it.
Doesn't matter when you drink it, really.
Does Pyro have any kind of healing potion? Does Pyro actually keep track of his inventory? Yes, he does.
Good question.
He does, in fact.
So
He's got one potion thingy.
that must be the herbal potion.
Maybe. Or maybe it's
Wanna-
not. Maybe I should roll on the table for some random potion
Swap me, Jez,
fact.
since you're lower?
What?
Wanna swap me for the regular potion since you're lower health?
I already drank it in story.
He has Talon, then the potion thingy, then the Necklace of Ravenkind.
So it
So,
happened in that one section.
yeah, you know what?
I'll just give you the potion, Jez. Just drink it.
Pyro heals for 4.
I will actually.
He's
hold on.
actually also going to spend a. You know, he's going to fucking heal himself properly.
I'm gonna need it, and this way I can take it or not take it depending on whatever the fuck comes next.
Alright, it's fine.
So
You need it worse than I do right
Wait
now.
a sec. Does he not have a healing spell? Oh, yes, he does. There's.
He's got cure wounds.
I couldn't find it.
I'm gonna ask Casimir to speed things up. What exactly are we looking for?
That's a big one.
That was a good one. Yeah, it was a good. Well, what you guys are looking for?
What he's looking for?
He's basically, he just kind of reiterates the same things he's told you before, that he's looking for something that will allow him to bring his dead sister back to life.
So one of those sarcophagus things has a way to bring back your sister. Correct?
He says maybe.
It's a hard maybe. We're gonna have to start looking for more of those. We know this place is pretty much symmetrical, so we know there's probably another set of sarcophagi up here. On the other side,
A lot of sarcophagi.
So,
I know.
as you go, I guess I could also describe this hallway. So
Certainly could.
I could. You move past the creepy hallway. I was so excited to remember the creepy hallway that I forgot about the normal hallway. Oh god, these are taking up so much room. So, glistening amber coats the walls and ceilings of this enormous hall like sculpted honey, and dust covers the black marble floor. The vaulted ceiling is 25 feet high. Set into the walls at a height of 5 feet are amber ledges lined with life-sized alabaster statues of cats, frogs, hawks, owls, rats, ravens, snakes, toads, and weasels. Many of the statues have fallen off their perches and lie shattered on the floor. An amber door in the north wall stands open, with some light, like some dim light kind of pouring out of it. And also, 4 other amber doors to the west and south stand closed.
Is there an intact statue of a cat?
You need an investigation check.
Took me a while to find it. Ian.
So you kind of go searching around through all the alcoves, and you do find one cat statue that seems to have not shattered into pieces.
I'll put it
Nice,
back.
nice.
It's kind
I
of
don't know why.
It's kind of roughly carved. It's not super detailed, but you now have a cat-sized cat alabaster statue.
Okay.
We're going north.
It's open.
Alright. Let's start heading that way.
So as you guys make your way down the
It
hallway,
is up.
Hey.
Oh boy.
this
Arrows.
this
Arrows
stone
coming out of the sarcophagus. We're dead. Indiana Jones.
this amber door to your left, like, kind of just grinds open, seemingly on its own.
Swear to God, if a golem comes out. That it?
Seems to be.
I'll just like turn around, look at Jez like.
You can just take a look inside. Let's just look.
Like as
I'll
you guys,
just-
so as you
I'll
guys
just
are
light up the
kind of,
saber.
oh shit, hold on. So as you guys are kind of like looking at the creepy door, you see some weird little misshapen heads with single gigantic eyeballs, and these little monster things all seem to be. They're kind of like stacked up, and they're looking at you. You see. So you see basically like 2 or 3 sort of monstrous heads with one single melon-sized eyeball, and they're all just kind of looking at you from the cracked open door to the north.
Beholder larvae.
Yeah, they seem to be about human-sized. Like, they seem about the same size as you guys. And they seem bipedal. They got arms, legs, and that. And they're just kind of like peering around like the open doorway, just looking at you.
What's in there?
I really want to just throw a throwing dart into their eyeball. Should I? I don't know.
No, no. Oh, don't provoke it.
Just take a few steps back. Kind of watching it. Hey, what do we do? What the hell is that?
What roll do I do to try and know if I know what it is?
Those. No, Arcana. Give me Arcana. It's going to be an roll of some kind, but I'll take Arcana. You're not entirely sure. You think you've read something about them that they're, you believe they're Nothics, strange creatures. What's a kind of easy bit that I can give you? They're Nagas. So you think that they are some kind of weird, twisted, demonic representations of what may have once been spellcasters called Nothics. You know that they are very curious. They're not all the time hostile, but they have the ability to, with that gigantic eyeball of theirs, you know they have the ability to extract things from the minds of other people. They certainly look fucking scary, but
I'll relay
So
the
far-
information
so far they're
to my
just-
party.
so far 3 of them are just in a totem pole. Like 3 of them are just like stacked up in the doorway watching you. Like a Three Stooges sketch. Like
So we got that.
one's like real low to the ground, the other one's on top of him, the other one's on top of him, and they're all just looking at you.
We got that to the north, and we got Creepy Door over to the west. Fantastic.
So, boom, boom, boom. When suddenly,
I don't know. Do you want to go for the Creepy Door, or do you want to go for the Nothics?
I can't see what's up there. No one answered me.
well,
Oh, hello.
you see a giant, well, not giant, but a man-sized black frog materialize out of thin air and basically just attack in some fashion Lawaj with advantage because he just appeared out of absolutely nowhere. I had it open to this page, and then I looked up the Nothics and didn't keep my place. Yeah, so this big, I guess, horn-covered, it kind of looks like this horny bullfrog, but with man proportions, but probably like big long arms and kind of not bipedal. What's the term for like wolf legs or cat legs, where like the joint goes backwards? I can't remember now.
Oh shit, I can't think of it, but I know what it is.
But anyway, it's this big giant frog guy. Seems to be dragging behind it a great sword. And it just, with one arm, it just swings it across and bashes Vidania in the back of the head with advantage. That'll hit. 20... Oh god, more than that. 27 versus AC.
The word you're looking for is digitigrade.
That doesn't sound like the word I was looking for. So, Luage, you're going to take 15 damage plus 4 necrotic damage. And it is time, once again, to roll initiative. As some kind of evil salad is attacking you.
No!
I should have
12-year-old.
cleared their
guy.
initiative.
Amazing.
Well, all your guys' initiatives will update with the new ones.
Yeah, it does.
Casimir did not roll bad. He rolled a 15. The salad. Ooh.
Dusty, we don't
Ooh.
have time for this. Can you banish
Salad.
it? Get rid of it.
Salad rolled a 17. Did everybody roll except for Pyro? I'm hoping.
Like it.
Pyro is going to be... Casimir is going to be here. Pyro will be up more with you guys. Because that is where he would be. I'm not going to leave him in that other room. That's not very fair. And holy shit, Pyro rolled fucking initiative for once.
Pyro can go before me. I
He was
will allow
ready.
him to go before me.
Okay. Lawage, you see a frog with like bits and pieces of kind of clothing and armor kind of still like stuck to it. Not enough to really provide it much protection, but it looks like maybe this was once some kind of soldier, and now it is whatever this thing is. Now it should be
You are one
keeping with the Chrono
disgusting
Trigger theme. I should be
fuck.
playing frogs music now.
I'll fucking disengage my cutting action, back up, way back here, and then try and shoot it. Oh yeah.
That's big.
Yeah, that'll hit.
That's a big.
That'll hit. Yeah. So you just kind of stick it with the arrow, and it seems to elicit very little response from it. Your arrow sunk in good and deep into its like arm, but it seems to just not really care.
Remember that waiting for one of us to get next to it is generally better for you.
My level of carrying right now is just so little.
You never care. We give you advice.
There we go. The death slot is getting frog's theme. Because it's frog.
But he's got a spear, not a sword.
So Pyro runs in and is like, I will defeat you, big frog guy. And, because that's probably what Pyro would say.
Intimidate.
I mean,
Intimidate
you're not wrong.
Yeah, you know what? You're absolutely right. He's going to roll an intimidation against this frog. Yep. That went about as well as we can all expect. Remind me, what is the exact wording of Divine Smite again? It's undead, fiends, and what?
Undead and fiends.
Just undead and fiends? Okay.
They would never let it go for aberrations.
Yeah, I didn't think so. I just couldn't remember because he's gonna Divine Smite this thing if he hits. He's gonna roll one attack and he's gonna miss. The tough hide of the frog deflects his sword blow. And he's
Everything
gonna
is
be like,
such
okay.
fantasy.
And he's like, he's just gonna like turn back to the rest of you and shrug. Say that's what happened. Good old Happy Frogs theme to go with Death Slod. Dusty, there's some kind of horrid aberration in front of you. So you pelt it in the face with a firebolt, and the fire seems to do very little to it. It seems to just shrug fire off completely, or almost completely.
Dang it.
I forgot to put Lawage's damage in. Lawage's was 12 damage, yeah. Okie dokie. But, yeah, it does not seem to really give too much of a shit about fire. How smart is this Slod? He's fairly smart. So he's not going to do that. He's just going to start by trying to bite Pyro and then trying to just great sword it. Just great sword him a couple of times. So the bite is 17. That's not going to hit. Yeah, 17. First great sword attack is 23. That's going to hit. Second one is 19. That is just going to barely hit.
I'm gonna reduce that.
Okie dokie. So one hit.
That shit.
So Pyro's going to get hit for 11 slashing damage plus 4 necrotic. 15. Oh, 11 slashing damage, which gets reduced to... Oh, I don't think I was reducing... Oh, I forgot to reduce his fucking damage against what's-his-face. Oops.
Casimir.
Oops! Whatever.
I mean, he got hit what?
Yeah, it was mostly from the psychic that he took all the damage. He didn't really get hit that much from the other thing.
I mean, just tack on 6 or something for 2 hits.
Yeah. You know what? That's fair. This is technically not my character to be... If it was Casimir, I'd be like, fuck it, Casimir, you're just fucked. But considering this is a PC that I'm using. Yeah, so he got hit for 11, which gets reduced to 8. And then I said 4, so 12 damage. As I should have worked that out before working that other thing out. But anyways. Yeah. That's what the frog's gonna do. Casimir. Does Casimir have any idea what this thing is? No. He knows fire was not that effective by watching Datto. So he's going to kind of move himself up along the wall here. And he's going to Ray of Frost it in the face. Oh, that's going to hit. Ray of Frost is a D8. So the Ray of Frost seems to do very little to it. As it seems to just shrug cold off as easily as it shrugged off fire.
Seems to not mind elemental damage.
What is it? It's slowed, right? It's slowed by 10 feet or something like that. That's the side effect of Ray of Frost, if I remember correctly. Jez, go. Yeah, so his speed is cut by 10, I think, for one turn. So the ice seems to have slowed it down a little, but doesn't seem to really hurt it much.
I don't want to get up in this. So I'll leave my sword down. And I'll draw a gun.
Hey, you're actually using it.
Yep. This is gonna be loud in this cavern.
Yep.
Whatever.
Remember, you don't get your proficiency bonus for shooting gun, though. 'Cause you're not
Yeah, I don't think I
proficient.
ever even set it up in here. 1 second.
It's basically like you'd be like using a long bow without proficiency or something like that, essentially.
Yeah. Gun. Dex. Proficiency? No. Oh, what was it? 1d8?
1d10. plus your mod for damage.
I can only do this once because
Basically,
I can't
you get the full power out of it. It's just harder for you to hit.
Yeah.
God damn, for that sick additional 1.
That additional 1 damage.
Both times. Both ways.
Do I want to?
That's an interesting roll.
I'm gonna aim for his hand and make that a disarming attack.
So, okay, despite his massive strength, he does You shoot him in the arm, and his greatsword clatters to the ground.
It's a crit.
I was lucky.
So 13, 14, 17, 19
You know what?
damage.
I'm going to say, give me another D10 roll. I'm going to say that the guns, because they're such a sort of game-changing weapon, I'm going to say that they do 2 D10 instead of 1 D10 extra damage. There you go. That's big damage. I was tempted to go Pathfinder rules where they do just like 4 times damage on a crit, but that's a little much. Like Pathfinder rules, guns are fucking just stupid powerful.
So you want me to do 2d10?
Yeah, put 2 D10 on a crit
Okay.
for the gun
Makes sense.
because it's gonna do a bit more damage. Like, if you really hit a vital spot, that thing's gonna tear through your flesh. So way more than an arrow would.
But it's also non-magical, so I don't know if it if he's
Yeah, no, you blasted with this thing, and it seemed to just kind of take a chunk out of his arm, which is what caused him to drop the greatsword, and it seemed to just have no problem hitting him. So what are we looking at? We're looking at 10, 12, 15, 28, 29 damage?
Yeah. And is it with my other attack that I reload? Or just
No,
in general?
it just means like you're not going to be able to
Definitely.
do multiple attacks in one turn.
Yeah.
It works like a crossbow where you can't fire it more than once per turn.
Yeah.
That's all.
Okay. That was my turn.
That was what did I say. That was 29. Yeah.
Yeah.
29.
That. So you just take a chunk out of the Slod's arm. There's now a great sword. Like this rusty old crappy great sword lying on the ground. Bones. It is your turn.
One day
Cool.
closer to being proficient with guns.
That's a good step forward. You pointed at the thing, and like the. No, like that.
First try, just bam.
It's like, oh, so this is why they were smuggling these things.
Alright.
I probably would have edited a sword into his hand, but I forgot they actually have they can have great swords until I looked at it today. You smack him upside the head, and it's a hit. Second one is miss.
I kick him in the froggy nards.
Frogman's got nards.
Yeah.
You kick him there, and you kick him hard enough to hurt him, but you don't. Your foot doesn't seem to really come into contact with anything. So if he has testicles or genitalia of any kind, it does not seem to be there, unless it's a girl frog.
Possibility.
15 damage total. 15. God, I'm so slow on adding up my math today. Wacky, it is your turn.
Come over here. I'm gonna use Vicious Mockery.
What the?
Charisma, he should be able to do pretty good at. No.
This thing has charisma.
Yeah. This thing's smart.
Oh, good.
He's got higher charisma probably than most of you guys do. Probably got higher int than most of you guys do too. But yeah, so he's going to fail that. Oh, wait a second. Haha, he has advantage on his throw. I forgot about that. So no, he's not going to fail it.
Right, okay.
Forgot about his magic resistance. So, Louage.
Oh,
You shoot at Frogman, and you miss. You put it right through the big hole in his arm that Jez left. Would have hit, but there's already a chunk of like flesh missing from there.
Don't blame me.
Pyro gonna take 2 swings.
Go into the wall.
Are you in the wall?
no, I went to the room.
Why?
So that's pretty good. So Pyro's gonna metagame himself up a Divine Smite. I say at the start of this campaign, I would let him do it like rules as written. I still don't like it. I know it's
not like
balanced
that
for it,
often.
but
Not like you see that
It's-
often.
Divine Smite is 1d6.
balances out with all
Yeah.
the shitty rolls that he rolls.
So it's be 48.
Uh,
Yeah, I didn't mean D6.
I thought it was, yeah.
It's D8s. That's what I meant. I don't know why I
You know,
said.
this is a very D8 heavy party.
Pretty much. So he's gonna do.
I rolled 10s.
I roll 6s.
I will soon roll 10s, just not right now.
Shit.
Let me look that up.
Oh, so I forgot about this on his other one, on his other attack too. Okay, so he's gonna hit the thing for 15 points of damage, which is gonna get cut down because it's cold damage.
Oh.
That's gonna get cut down to 7.
Never mind. It's gonna
But
be
the
a while.
divine, and then the divine smite happens.
At least this
For
might
19.
Well,
Well, no, the smite is radiant damage. So he
I mean,
blows
it's
through
not
this
gonna
thing with
be-
radiant damage, and the radiant damage seems to do just fine. So the radiant damage cuts into him, and he's got another attack. Where's his other attack? There's his other attack. Oh god, I hate this stupid. Is it a normal attack? Is it a... and another one misses. I hate the fucking
What?
normal advantage, disadvantage drop box. It's so annoying. I want to click the button and it rolls it. That's all I want.
I don't know why
You
he
know what
doesn't
I like
sleep
about
both
it,
of them
though?
up.
I don't know.
I like it because if I accidentally click something, I can cancel it.
So that's gonna be it for Pyro's turn, I guess.
I guess it also makes you think about whether you have advantage or not, so...
I was gonna have him possibly do something else, because I noticed he had a spell in his spell book. But I said, well, I don't think Pyro knows he has this spell, and I've never seen him like mention it, so I'm not gonna. I don't think it's fair for me to use Hold Person
Yep.
because Pyro has Hold Person.
Pyro.
I was thinking of having him use it on Rahadin. I was like, no, Pyro doesn't have I don't think Pyro knows he has Hold Person. You would go hit him. Got to play the character correctly. So Dusty, do your stuff. Will I tick off some spells? I've used 2 level 1s so far.
You said he cast Ray of Frost last time and didn't do anything, right?
Yeah, and you know that Pyro's Ice Blade doesn't seem to be doing its full thing.
Yeah.
You saw a big chunk of radiance just splash through it, and the radiance seemed to be all right.
Well, unfortunately,
And
I do not have this capability.
You also know that he does not seem to be resistant to gun damage. So if you have the spell Gun,
not have
you-
the spell gun.
you also think that may work.
I
I
gotta
own the gun
think of a
spell.
good name for it.
This thing's gotta be pretty fucking weak at this point.
Make a perception check.
I will do that. Nope.
As far as you can tell, he's got a big hole in his arm, but he seems just as raring to go as when you first met him.
Hey.
So that is absolutely a hit. Lightning damage does not seem to do all that much to him.
Yeah, I'm out.
So elemental damage,
Damage.
is not great.
Yeah, no good, no bueno.
Hey,
does-
at least you can just keep concentrating and auto hit.
I guess.
You don't have to think about missing anymore.
So what happens if you roll a crit? Does that mean all the rest are going to be auto crits?
Nope.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
And the same as if you cast it at a higher level,
User joined your channel.
you only get 1d10 a turn.
I see. So, the Slod, now that it's his turn, you watch as some of the muscle and sinew from the giant hole in his arm begins to sort of tie itself back together. And it starts to close up a bit. It doesn't close up completely, but the wound on his arm does seem to be healing itself on its own. He's gonna think about fucking bringing out the big guns. Wait, what? What? Oh, spelt it wrong. There's no space in the thing I'm looking for.
I hope the Nothics are just watching.
Yep. Yeah, the things in the doorway do seem to still just be
Going.
they're just chilling in the doorway watching this whole thing. They've made no aggressive moves like whatsoever. They're just enjoying the show. So, the frogman seems to start croaking out a some kind of incantation, and a big cloud of noxious yellow smoke fills the area here. I guess I'm gonna
User
have.
joined your channel.
It's gonna be really
I guess
bad.
I'm gonna have to. So I need all of you guys to give me Constitution saving throws.
What?
A con?
Constitution saving throws, as you're all enveloped by noxious yellow gas.
Yeah, I'm in the room.
Who's all?
It's the four of you and Casimir. That's a red square. Fuck. You know what? It probably would have just been easier for me to freehand it.
Oh no.
Freehand, yellow. Was blah 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 blah. So cloud. So Dusty seems to be okay. What was his DC? Oh yeah. So Dusty's okay. Bones is not. Everybody else failed.
Yeah, I'm fine. Everyone suck it.
So Dusty will take half damage.
Fine.
You could have counterspelled that, Dusty. God.
I don't have counterspell prepared. We went over this.
Yeah, you're probably right.
So Dusty, you're going to take 10 poison damage. Bones, Jez, and Wacky are going to take 20 poison damage. Casimir did not roll. Casimir's fine. He's going to take 10 poison damage. Well, he's not fine, but he's alive. And there is now just this noxious yellow
User
cloud.
left your channel. User joined your channel.
Okay, somebody just kick him out. It's getting annoying.
What is it?
You're
I
muted,
sent
bro.
you a message, Data.
Okay, great. I'll read it later. Bye.
User was moved out of your channel.
Alright, so... Yeah, you guys,
Alright.
So, yeah. So the fog cloud is now just floating there in the room. And you are all still in it. Yeah. So that's a thing. And that is the end of his turn. Casimir. Affected even if they hold their breath or don't need to breathe. Now, is it... Or starts its... Yeah, okay. So Casimir starts its turn inside the noxious fucking cloud. Makes a Constitution saving throw. Makes that. He's going to take a bit more damage, and then he's just going to fucking book it outside of the... Or... He's going to make an Arcana check. He's going to book it this way. And kind of, like, get into the room with Lawage as he's just, like, coughing and wheezing.
Hi, dude.
And then he's going to...
Spell magic?
You know what? If he has it, he's going to. Do you have that? Detect magic. You know, I'm going to have to actually look up his real stat sheet because I can't trust this one anymore. If he has Dispel Magic, he will cast Dispel Magic.
Please do.
Considering most of his attacks are pretty bad against its slot anyways.
Yeah. He's got a tricky... to Detect Magic. In that listing... Fucking frogs. Frogs learned some new things since Chrono Trigger. Froggy? I almost opened it up right to where Casimir is. Almost. Vistani Treasure Wagon. Casimir Velikov. Arcane Lock, Comprehensive Languages, Hold Person, Identify, Locate, Non-Detection, Polymorph, Protection from Evil and Good, Ray of Frost, and Wall of Stone. So, nope. No Dispel Magic.
Could have turned me into a tiger.
Taiga. As for the duration, or until strong wind. Did he have... Casimir's not sure what to do. Does he have anything that would create wind?
Flap his
Oh,
hands really hard.
Is this Cloud Kill?
Yes.
Oh, at least it does move.
It does. It drifts.
No, he probably doesn't have Gust of Wind because most of those are Druid.
You could just attack the slot to see if it loses concentration.
He can. He's gonna try one thing. That's gonna require a DM judgment call, isn't it? God damn. This is the problem with spellcasters. If you don't know what you want to do, you have too many things you can do.
That's the story of my life.
I'm pretty sure that's how I felt the entire time I had Casimir being played as well. I kept flipping through books.
Well, usually it's just, you know, get him to do like, some simple stuff. He's going to try and do something big time move. I just gotta. Where'd the slod fucking even come from? Ghastly gray skin, hungry.
Where did they come from?
Where did they come from? Where did they go? Where did
They come from the chaos.
No, I mean as in like what room did he come from?
Oh.
Okay, he is going to attempt to banish the slod. I'm trying to make a judgment as a DM of would this actually work? Because if the slod was like created here and he's technically from this plane, it's not going to do anything. But I'm going to So the slod needs to make a charisma saving throw or be banished.
Where's my David Dorp?
This will only last for up to 1 minute. Oh wait, if the spell ends before 1 minute is passed. Oh, see, if he can hold it for a minute, then he's gone forever. Charisma saving throw.
Well, that's
Roll. So I'm gonna leave this up to roll 20 to decide if this fight is gonna continue or not. Roll 1d20 plus 3. Charisma saving throw. So
Fuck.
you see
Hey.
with a pop, the slod just disappear.
Good shit.
And he just disappears. As he does, the noxious yellow cloud also seems to dissipate.
Okay.
And you see Casimir just kind of fucking, he like comes and walks out and looks, and he just slumps down in the doorway. Like hacking and coughing. He's actually also,
Oh my god.
he's also down an
Why
extra
are you
10.
doing that?
We don't have any healing left.
Well, do it to someone else besides me first.
You're the only one down.
I'm down.
Oh, you're. Oh shit! I didn't scroll down far enough. Okay, well,
So-
clearly I didn't.
So we are going to do this in order. So,
Oh, all right, my bad. I'll just go back to where it was.
so Jez, you're down. Give me a death saving throw.
Bad.
Fail.
Jesus.
So Bones, I'm gonna mulligan what would have been an extra fail on Jez's thing if you with that crit fail medicine check. I will remind you, if you fail your medicine check, you will basically be giving a strike to that person. So keep that in mind if you try to stabilize somebody.
Fail it or straight up?
Yep. Well, depends. Depending on how bad you fail. Are you trained? Well, first of all, are you actually trained in medicine?
I
Hey.
really am. I
That is
am
one.
proficient in it.
Oh,
I just crit failed that one straight up.
Okay, so it's basically I'll determine by how badly you fail whether or not it'll be a
I guess if you want
an
you can
untrained
beat me up
person
first.
failing in it. I would say would be just you just make it worse.
That's fine.
But if you're trained in it, if you fail bad enough, I'll add a strike. But if you just miss it by a little bit, I'll say no, you don't, because you kind of know what you're doing.
I didn't know Wacky was down, so I actually would go to her first. Given that she's the healer. But I'll do the same thing. I'm gonna try to stabilize her.
I forgot the fact that if I'm stabilized, I can.
Wacky is now stabilized.
Yay.
I want to move over to him, but I'm not gonna do anything, obviously.
Wacky does not have to do any death saving throws, and nothing happens. Lawage!
I don't care if they die, so I'm just gonna sit here.
Wow.
I mean, this was
Alright.
expected.
Yep. This is expected.
Pyro, seeing that Wacky's been stabilized, he's going to cast Cure Wounds on Jez.
Oh.
Well, would you want him to use a cantrip healing spell?
Well, if there's a cantrip healing
Oh,
spell for
maximum
one health.
healing! Done that twice now.
Well, dying, but I doubt he has it.
Yeah, but that's not going to get Jez up. That'll just stabilize him.
Yeah.
Without healing, he will
Jez
stay
has
unconscious.
Yeah, I can stabilize anyone now. I'm ready. Let's stabilize them all.
Yeah.
So Jez wakes up.
Action surge, stabilize.
Dusty kind of walks around like, what's wrong with all you people? Like, why? He seems to be just fine.
I'm just back here.
The wizard that has like no health, he's
That's
fine.
just like, you people can't take a hit to save your life.
Don't make young people.
what I do and do not say.
They don't make young people like they used to. It seems.
I know you're still here.
Dusty, do you want to do anything?
Oh, I guess we're still in initiative, even though no one's gonna die right away.
You know what? I can take us out. Casimir does nothing except sit there in that corner, keeping one eye on the Nothics that are like all piled up in the doorway watching, while he just attempts to maintain concentration so that he can keep the slot from ever coming back. After about a minute, he kind of like breathes a sigh of relief and just kind of stands up, slumping on like the wall beside the door.
I wanna pick up. Fuck. Karen?
Wacky.
Karan.
Karan. By like underarms and pull her into the open room that the slot came from. That way we're not out in the open.
Okay.
And kind of make a motion. Hey, we should probably get in here, close the door for a bit.
Like, as you guys are doing this, the Nothics are still just piled in the doorway. They're just watching.
That's fine. Fucking perverts.
I might be a stupid idiot.
Why? Do you think you had banishment?
No.
I don't think you had banishment.
No, I don't.
I don't think
There's
Pyro
something
even had banishment.
Cass.
Somehow I doubt he has a.
Do you wanna?
He has Misty Step? The fuck?
That's also.
He's
Yeah.
he's got all kinds of useful spells. He's got way more useful spells, but like no spell slots to actually use them. Like, if he didn't have Divine Smite, like he would have far more use for his.
Does seem like the one hamstring of a paladin.
Well, that's kind of the point. It's like you can burn them all on just big time damage, or you can have utility.
That's why some people
So
use that warlock.
Casimir is going to just do a lap, touching sarcophagi, and
Help him to
so-
speed things up.
he kind of like just touches each one, and he says, "What I'm looking for is not here." So Jez, you touch the top sarcophagus, the northern sarcophagus in this room. By the way, this room has amber glazed walls, a black marble floor with red veins, and 3 amber sarcophagi standing in alcoves. The northern sarcophagus reaches into your mind and says, "I will give you the gift of sight."
Pass, I already have that.
Wait, hear me out.
That's pretty stupid.
Let me
It
sweeten the deal. Give me
it
a
was
second.
just sight. We can all see. Like, come on.
Like as you're ignoring, it's like no, wait. I can give you sight beyond all other sight.
The sight.
The
beyond
ability
sight.
to see.
Thundera.
It does tell you though, like I will give you the power to see through all darkness.
Is it like super darkness? Or, like, is it technically super darkness? I'm not taking it anyway, but I'm just curious. Is it super darkness or is it like
Is
astral
it the
plane?
warlock thing or not?
You're not sure. You'd have to take it to find out.
Well, I wasn't gonna take it.
Hashtag
anyways.
not worth. I'm curious. I'll touch this guy and see what it says. Everybody's been touching these things. What's going on here?
So you hear a deep, scratchy voice in your mind that introduces itself as Great Tar Hawk, the five-headed destroyer. It offers you the gift of great strength if you were to make a pact with him.
There's a bunch of dumbbells at you.
Lift these.
Great gains, bro.
For
100
Several
push-ups, 100 sit-ups, and running 10 miles a day.
I'm just gonna say no. I was thinking of something clever, but no, just no. I'm good.
You guys are boring. We can,
I'm
we
dex
can already
based, bro.
see.
Dog pussies.
You don't want the benefit of a belt of fire giant strength? That's fine.
Think about it, because that would
That would
be
actually
really good.
be
But I
higher
also don't want to
DPS.
be evil, and my character's not
You
greedy,
don't
so
have
she
to
wouldn't
be
do
evil
this.
if you're
Oh, you've been doing some
Jack.
pretty evil shit recently.
Who, me?
Hey, you.
Like what? Name one.
Cassim-
What just happened last episode?
What? I asked a guy a question and he freaking panicked.
And you didn't let him leave.
So we can't get whack yet because the only one that could heal is Jafar, right?
Oh, yeah, you know what? Now that we're out of thing, he could spend his last level 1 spell slot to get wacky up. I just didn't do it at the time because I was keeping you in initiative order. Oh, I switched spells. Level 1 spells! Cure wounds! Let's see if I max roll it again. Nope.
Ooh, no.
Nope.
Good.
So I've used up all 4 of my level 1 spell slots.
I mean, I have no healing to give you guys. I could, like...
Casimir's looking really bad himself. He doesn't have anything
Oh,
to...
boy.
You know what? Casimir would have 1 healing potion, so I'm going to heal him.
Maybe we should just leave and try again. I mean,
Well, we can always put up a tiny hut inside here, and things can't get through it.
That's true.
That's true.
But what happens when the thing that you don't
Yeah.
want to get into it just sits outside and waits for you
waits
to come out
outside.
of
That
it?
was my thought too.
Then we'll be at higher health
We'll be rested.
than
Yeah,
right
we'll
now.
deal
I
with,
mean,
we'll deal with
yes,
it.
but
Hey, I'll be right back. Someone's
will
knocking.
we also kill us?
Uh-oh.
Not instantly.
Someone's knocking on Dad's
Just gonna
door.
like get
Someone
out of
sent
this
him-
room. He doesn't
someone
like
sent
being in
pizzas.
here.
Don't rest. We're
I mean-
gonna be at this health.
It'd be
so-
better. It'd be better than what we're at now.
Not
I'm
wrong.
gonna,
You are. You
I'm
are
gonna
correct.
look at the Nothics or talk to the Nothics. I'm gonna say, hey, you guys know things, right?
So, the Nothics, give me a saving throw. I think it's gonna be charisma.
Healing myself.
Give me a charisma saving throw and a wisdom saving throw. And then you're covered either way. While I find that page again.
Well, if it's wisdom, I'm fucked. Oh, why did I roll twice?
Oh, you know what? My bad. It's a contest.
Oh,
It's a drinking contest between you and the Nothic.
I was gonna say, is it a
I mean-
constitution test, or is it a contest?
So,
Oh, what-
give me a deception check. As basically, you feel the thing peer into your mind, and it seems to be trying to extract secrets from you.
okay.
Uh, but his insight is not high enough to beat that deception check. So your secrets are yours
I'm not
for
trained
now.
in deception, guys.
So yeah, as you kind of kind of get close, they're like, "Meh, meh, meh," and they start to kind of like, they start backing up.
Those noises.
They kind of act sort of bird-like, because they seem to be like cocking their heads to the side and like staring at you, and they kind of like hop back on their feet as you kind of get close to them. You can see, you see that there's like some light from. You're not entirely sure from where you're standing. You don't even really know what the source of the light is, but there does seem to be some sort of dim, shimmering light coming from that northern room. Cat.
Shimmering light.
Yes, I'm not gonna proceed in there right now, but I'm gonna say, do you guys know, you know about the sarcophagi, right? Do you know which one resurrects people?
Didn't we already touch one that would offer us the power to resurrect?
No.
No.
That's for you.
No, it offered the
Oh, thank you, Wacky.
it offered the power to reincarnate yourself.
Yeah,
Oh, reincarnate. My bad.
that would not work for.
That would not work for him getting his sister back to life.
Right, yeah.
Oh,
He could come back 3 times to find his sister.
I can also delete Mr. Slod. Yeah, it's a good thing. It's probably a good thing that he banished that Slod, or that actually worked, because things were not going too well for you guys. And that Slod still had like 60-70% of his health. That cloud kill was not going to go away on its own for a bit.
Yeah, if I wasn't down, I could shoot him.
So, it just kind of like looks at you, and
Is making any form of communication back?
it seems to be speaking in Undercommon.
I can hear that.
I can too.
So
Birds.
I don't need.
it kind of speaks in kind of broken Undercommon too, and says something along the lines of, it's like, big yellow things, powerful.
Big doo-doo.
Well, I say they're not particularly stupid, but they're also not.
civilized.
Yeah, they're not so much people anymore.
Have you overheard anyone? And I'm not gonna speak in Undercommon.
Oh, and I guess you know what? He would also probably point at he would point into the room and say like, big yellow things, big yellow things.
Have you heard someone say big yellow things bring people back? And this is in Undercommon, so because that's what he's talking in.
He says no. Big yellow things grant many dark powers, many evil gifts await those who touch big yellow things. What gifts it bestows me not know.
Is it all right if I come in?
And it just kind of he just kind of cocks his head to the side and looks at you. He doesn't really give you a yes or no, and him and the other ones, they all just kind of turn their heads and look at you.
Permission is not a known thing for these guys. Oh yeah, so they really don't know about permission,
Yeah, so
because
as you kind of
probing.
as you kind of sort of start stepping into the room, they start hopping back. Like if you ever walked by a whole bunch of birds at the park, especially ones that have been fed a whole bunch of times, that they don't leave. They just hop a couple of feet away from you and just continue to stare at you. You see as another one kind of pokes around from the other sarcophagi.
I'm getting some Jurassic Park 3 vibes. I'm gonna step in. Okay. So it's a broken one.
So, you see 2 amber sarcophagi. I need to get this fucking thing out of my way. You see I hate that all these are called 33, but with a different letter on them. This room has amber glazed walls and a floor of polished or purplish black marble. 2 amber sarcophagi stand in alcoves to the west and east, and a third sarcophagus that once stood in the north alcove lies shattered on the floor. Clustered in the middle of the room are 4 loathsome hunched creatures, each with a single large, baleful eye.
They're not loathsome. They're
You
cute.
also notice kind of in the spot of the broken sarcophagus seems to be this strange, like rift-looking thing, and that seems to be what's giving off the light. Like it kind of looks like a tear in like the fabric of reality. Like it's just this kind of wavy distortion, but it's like razor thin and probably about 6 feet, 7 feet tall. And it seems to be giving off kind of pulses and shimmering bits of dim light.
I'm gonna ask these guys, when did the blue light, or where did the blue light come from?
So, they look at you, and they seem extremely confused.
Was it always here?
And it says, "What light?"
Maybe things from here can't see it.
They all kind of like look at each other. And they look at you, and they look at each other, and they start kind of like making like chirpy bird sounds.
I'm gonna let my friend in to check these big yellow things. Don't get mad. And then I'm gonna wave over
mad.
Casimir. Hey, I'm trying to keep
So-
these guys calm in case they attack. Like,
So
calm.
Casimir kind of looks at these
Big
things with kind of a
comments.
disgusted look, and he kind of like goes over to like touch one of the sarcophagus, and the Nothics kind of just get away from him. And he kind of like touches it, and he's
After
not sure.
he checks the first one, I'm gonna ask him, "Can you see that blue light?"
And he just kind of looks at you funny. He's like, "What are you talking about? What blue light?"
I fucking push my way in. I want to see this.
And then he goes over and he touches the other sarcophagus, and for a second, and then he just kind of looks a bit dejected, kind of like half dejected, half pissed off, and he just kind of leaves. And he just kind of like he's gonna go lean in the corner and try and patch himself up somewhat because he's
Oh, that's weird.
not in great shape.
Huh.
Dusty? This looks like something you could help with. I'm assuming he's gonna do an Arcana check. I'm gonna see what I know, which is not much. But I don't want this to count as my only one. That's the only one.
You have no idea. Dado, this is also something you've never seen anything like this before. Kind of looking at it, with just an Arcana check, you think that this, it seems to be just some kind of hole or tear in reality. You don't know if maybe this is the remnants of a portal, or if this is just some kind of void that happened. You don't know, you're not 100% either if this was caused by the shattering of the sarcophagus. Because you do notice like the whole shattered remains of what used to be a sarcophagus. You're not 100% sure whether the sarcophagus or the thing inside it would have caused this or not with that roll. You're kind of leaning towards probably not, but
The things inside are black, smoky things, not blue.
yeah,
bright
this
things.
blue was, this thing was kind of the best representation of what I saw. It looks more like a crack, like you'd see if you saw like a big snaking crack in like a cement wall. It kind of looks like that, but in like the air, and then it's just kind of like shimmering and like giving off kind of the same light effects you see when light hits like water, where you get like those kind of weird shimmery effects all over the walls. That's the kind of light this thing seems to be giving off.
Do you mean like this?
Oh, I don't need to click. I don't need to click on that because I know what that is. Well, no, because it's not actually in the wall. It's in
Yeah, I know,
the
but-
air. But yeah, it's
It's like that, but in mid.
well, yeah, it's like this very thin crack that snakes from like almost near the ground to about 7 or 8 feet in the air, and it kind of like twists a little bit, and that it just seems to be like a crack in the fabric of reality.
Is it open? Like can we see into it, or is it just literally just a crack?
It seems to be a crack.
Do you think
It
you
doesn't-
can open it or close it? Testy.
What would I even do to... I don't even know what kind of spell I would need to affect this in some way.
Well, I'm gonna go up to it and I'm gonna try and open it with my bare hands.
Okay. So, as you put your hand on as you sort of like slip your hand into the crevice,
Seems like a bad idea.
it starts to give under your hand, and it kind of opens and grows wider as you move your hand sort of off to the side. It feels a lot like what it would feel like to part a curtain or like a piece of fabric. And as you do, the rift grows wider and wider, and just this big shimmery light pool is kind of revealed in the middle of it. You don't seem to see where it leads, if it leads somewhere, but you seem to be able to just open it up like you would open up like a curtain or a tapestry or something like that.
Well,
As you let go to turn around to your friends, it just kind of like falls shut again.
So, could he see into it when
my
he's open?
friends.
No, he
I'm
just
gonna
sees
I'm
basically
gonna-
like a pool of shimmering light.
I'm gonna turn around. I'm gonna look at my friends. I'm gonna wink. I'm gonna open it, and I'm gonna drive through.
Okay, so you guys watch the light engulf Lawage, and he disappears.
Lawage would
He's
be
gone
a
forever.
great
Go
player to
now.
play with in Tomb of Horrors.
That's what I'm
Oh,
trying
no.
to do.
So
I'm not
yeah,
going
actually,
in there.
I'm gonna put Lawage right there.
I don't know.
Before we get to what happened to you, Lawage, I'm gonna see if anybody follows you.
Should we follow him? Or at least one of us?
You know what?
You know-
Jafar will be
Hey,
in the room.
hey, what about that trick you did with your familiar back in the Shadowfell? Send it through.
If it's a different plane, it won't work too well.
Fair enough.
I guess I will summon my familiar and I'll wait until someone opens it. And I'll send my familiar through.
I guess I'll do it.
Because I can't open it and control my familiar.
Yeah, I got it.
I mean, he wasn't burned alive when he was touching it. At
Yeah,
least.
you didn't hear him, like, it didn't sound like he died when he went through it. He seemed to just dissolve
walk
away.
through
You
it.
just seemed to be engulfed by the shimmering light inside, and then the crevice just kind of fell back into like a crack again. Like basically like he opened up like a curtain, stepped through, and then like let the curtain go, and it closed itself again.
So I'll let my familiar go through.
Yep, and your familiar
due to its
disappears.
size.
And as it is engulfed in light, you lose your connection to the familiar.
Yep, guys, different plane.
We still have to, like, even like, we could follow him, but we came here specifically to stop Barovia from, continuing to exist, I guess.
Well,
This
we
is-
came
if
here
we-
to stop some elemental plane
This is
bullshit
odd
happening
enough
here.
that it might be the
Yeah, it might be
source.
related.
All the other problem is we'd be abandoning Casimir.
Yeah, I wonder what this looks like to Casimir.
Doesn't really do us any favors, but whatever.
People just
Casimir doesn't seem why you guys seem to understand why you guys are so interested in like the shattered remains of this sarcophagus that's like lying on the floor, because you guys have been kind of standing in there staring at it for a little while.
Speaking of
Just
which,
not
are there
noticed
any?
Lodge disappear.
Yeah,
there any,
he's not in the room. He's out. He's probably poked his head in at one point. Saw you all like staring at like the space where this sarcophagus once was, and like, the fuck's wrong with you people?
Are there
Casimir
any
probably
amber
just-
shards that are like sword size?
There's probably one that's about the length of a shard, but it's probably
I have a great sword.
5 or 6 inches wide.
I have a great sword.
What?
I have the Order of the Dragon great sword if you want to use that.
No, I just want a piece, and then I'll whittle it down to a sword size shape. Because Amber sword would look cool.
It would look cool.
You don't think it would be as effective as lightsaber, though?
I know that. I just want one that looks cool. Listen, I've tried to find a rug. I don't think rugs help too much either.
Alright, Pyro's gonna make a check. Pyro's gonna open and close the portal a few times, because that's the type of thing that Pyro would do. I will say, Lawaj, you find yourself in a place, and when you turn around and look, there does not seem to be any way back.
Reaper shrug.
I don't get that reference.
It just I'm shrugging like.
Yeah, I know. I'm assuming it's an Overwatch thing. Oh, BT.
Oh, so we cut our losses and continue on our way.
Cut her.
You did dispose.
That's what I said at the very beginning. I said,
Well, he's finally gone.
What did you guys get for XP from Rahadin?
842.
842. You get another 842 for the slod.
For the wash.
And for defeating Lawaj. You can also take his sword if you want, but there didn't seem to be anything special about it. Just seemed like this busted old greatsword. Seemed like an alright sword.
Great, I guess, sword. Yeah, I feel bad about abandoning.
I don't want to
Rahadin.
start just like firing off shit because I don't want to scare the Nothics.
They're probably confused just by us.
Yeah.
Having it there.
Yeah.
They're quite entertained by the fact that you guys are all in here hanging out.
Trying to probe us.
What were the two sarcophaguses?
Probably reading our minds going, these guys are idiots.
These ones? I can tell you what they were. Or I can tell you what one of them is. Because I know
Yeah.
you guys took one from here.
Yeah. I have no idea what we should be doing here.
Pyro
After
once
a
again
while,
is gonna
while
go.
we're
He's
really
gonna go play
Can
around
I
with
go
it.
Can I go get a? Where is he? Is he out here?
Casimir?
Casimir?
Can't see shit out here.
Oh.
Oh.
He's lurking in the shadows.
Oh, jeez. You want to come take a look at this right here?
He's like,
He can't see it.
I guess so, but take a look at what? He kind of like strides into the room.
see
He's,
it, okay.
he strides into the room. He looks at like, he just kind of like looks around, sees everybody staring at. And he sees Pyro like moving his arm back and forth, like look kind of like he's waving at the fucking wall.
Okay,
I was like-
I didn't realize he came in here already.
So he's like, I don't understand. Like what?
gonna-
What are you guys so fixated on? There's nothing
You
there.
want to see that?
I'm gonna, when Pyro has it open, I'm gonna say, Casimir, look. And I'm gonna shove my arm in. So it disappears.
You notice that like just putting your arm in, it doesn't seem to disappear. You kind of arm.
Damn it.
So it looks like you guys are doing some kind of weird puppet show.
I was
He does say though, it's like where what happened to the elf? Like what happened to that fucking evil elf that you guys hang around with?
Whatever.
Yeah, he's he made the thing that you can't. This thing right here, he did it.
This
I mean,
looks
he
like
make
nothing to him.
He didn't make it. I know, but the thing that we are looking at right now, he went in the thing that you can't see, but he went in there.
That was a very specific phrase. This means this looks like nothing to him.
I know, but I know.
He starts to cock his head sideways and look at Dusty the same way the Nothics have been looking at all of you.
You need to watch more Westworld in HBO.
Don't tell me what to do. I don't even know what that means.
That was for Dado, not Dusty.
Just for the sake of doing it, I'm gonna give Lawaj back his token so he can sit here and watch you guys.
Yeah. It's like, I mean,
All
it's
right.
bad.
Because I'm assuming when I moved you to the GM layer, you just saw nothing. So
Get
Casimir?
out of the way.
We're probably going to disappear, but
Back to your village.
we'll be back if we can.
he's like, what are you talking about? Where the hell would you go?
Don't answer.
I don't
just
wanna-
walk through.
I don't
look
want to
back.
just leave him.
He'll get out. He's fine.
Will he? He looks pretty
Probably.
rough. He looks as bad as we do.
Yeah, I wish we could take him with us. Cause I don't know if we're
No?
gonna get back here.
We could try to just have him walk straight forward if we
What
listen.
if you just like hug him as you're walking through?
They'll
I'm on
probably
my back.
just see us disappear.
Yeah, probably just see us disappear.
On my powdered donut, boy.
It's like that Metallica song, I Disappear.
Song sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was not a very good song. That is as far as I was going with that.
Because
Well, shall we press on then?
I don't know if we
The
should.
blue abyss.
Have we looked in the other direction?
We haven't. This is
No.
came here. We've only
I really
checked the
feel
room
like
to
this is our
to the west in
destination,
this
but-
one.
can we have no way
Pretty
to
obvious
tell?
this is where we're supposed
We
to
have no
go.
way to tell where Xanther went. Sorry, the Lich went. Right.
Nope. You know he left that room and
And-
possibly went north.
Like, it might
there was
not be
people
our
outside of the room that
destination.
wouldn't-
There's still a lot of temple that we haven't seen yet. Might still be
Yeah,
yet
but
something that we missed.
Given that Casimir can't see this, it goes clearly to another plane of existence, and it's in the temple we were supposed to go to stop. We were supposed to stop in the first place. It just. I mean, a lot of signs kind of point to this as like related to why we came here. Maybe not the way we're supposed to go, but definitely related.
I'm gonna say sorry if we don't come back, and then I'll step through.
Jez, you are engulfed by light and disappears. And Casimir kind of freaks out, backs up a second. He's like, where did he go? What the hell's going on here?
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Probably just. You should probably just get out of here, Casimir. Go back to your village.
Well, he's here now. You can probably not that far away.
I'm gonna
I mean,
follow
I-
Jess through the portal.
Hopefully, we can come back.
Okay. You.
Maybe time doesn't work the same way.
So you disappear into light. Casimir's getting like more and more freaked out. He's kind of starting to back out of the room as people just keep stepping forward, moving their arms around in weird ways, disappearing. Actually, no, he'll probably take a few steps forward and look, like, and he kind of like walks back and forth. He's like, what the hell's going on here?
I was gonna suggest that he just like kind of walk in the area.
Dusty walks into him.
Yeah, he like basically you watch him walk like right through this thing as if it's not even there, and his form kind of like shimmers and distorts a bit as he kind of walks through it. But he's like, what? To him, it just doesn't seem to even exist.
Okay, it's. I guess we're walking through. Why don't you try holding his arm or something and bring him through? Can we try that?
The power to try it.
You.
Oh, sure. Pyro basically just like grabs him and hauls him through.
Sorry, we're gonna try to see if this works, but I'm
So
feeling it
you
won't.
see Pyro disappear into light, and Casimir just kind of like gets pulled along until Pyro vanishes, and then he just kind of stumbles forward a couple of feet, and is still there.
Dang it.
Oh man.
It's almost as if there's something that's allowing you guys to.
Yeah.
It's almost as if there's something that's differentiating you from him.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a banish spell.
Yeah. Casimir, you know that we're not exactly from these parts. I think that the fact that we aren't from Barovia lets us see whatever this is, why we're disappearing and all that. I just try to offer him like an explanation.
He tells you it's like many people have come to this land from outside of it. Even the Dusk Elves were once not part of Barovia, but I've never heard of anything like this. And he's like, just reaches out and he's like, you see him basically, he's putting his hand like right through it, but it doesn't seem to register to him. He has no idea what he's like reaching out for or where it is. And the Nothic seem to be just as confused as he is. Some of them, sometimes they're looking at each other.
Well, I'm gonna do this. And I'm gonna fucking like,
How do you not do that at the start of every day?
I'm just gonna do that, and I'm gonna fucking just go on through.
Yep.
I just look at him as before I go. I was like, I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. Well, before I go as well, I'm gonna look at Casimir. I'm gonna, sorry if we don't come back.
I'm also sticking you guys outside the map. I shouldn't be doing that. I shouldn't be doing that. I'll just put you in the
I'm gonna
Delage
hand
pile.
Casimir my potion of invulnerability.
I'll get in the
Say,
pile.
just in case. There's a good chance we don't come back from this, so try to take care of yourself.
Dusty is also gone, so he just kind of gives you a nod.
He understands that we're flaky.
So, I'm guessing you're heading towards the thing now too?
Yep.
As you begin to step through, you hear like a large bellowing roar from somewhere back in the temple. It sounds like a voice you've heard before, almost like that booming voice you heard the day Tatiana disappeared and lightning struck the magical pool in Kresk. And Casimir, like, just as you begin to disappear, you look back and see Casimir, like, look at the door in panic. And then you are engulfed by light as you disappear, hearing the voice of Strahd von Zarovich echo throughout the Amber Temple.
Or Casimir.
I feel really bad about leaving him behind.
So,
quick, polymorph yourself.
It's okay. It'll reset.
So as you release the light fabric reality thing, like as you sort of release it, and your eyes adjust to the glowing white light, you realize that it's not, it is not like space and time that you were holding in your hand. It was colorful fabric. And you all seem to now be standing inside a small but familiar, colorful tent. You are all standing in front of the Vistani fortune teller, Madame Ava. Madame Ava. Where the fuck did you go, Madame Ava? Oh, you know what? Madame Ava's not a thing. It's a map. I forgot. Damn it, I completely forgot about that. I thought I gave her a thingy. Gotta move this over.
Oh shit, we left him behind. I'm really upset that we left Casimir behind.
Oh god.
Whose thing keeps doing that?
What?
Like staticky shit.
Oh, must be me then. Because I can't hear it.
Huh?
So, you guys are all inside the tent. So, the old crone, Madame Ava, just kind of, she kind of looks up as you all step inside of her tent and says, "Ah, I had a feeling that we would be seeing each other again. I did not take you for just regular outsiders."
Spoilers were all the
You know something we don't?
She says, "It seems that we both have information that the others lack." And she kind of, you see her kind of look up, and she seems to be staring right at your chest, at a small Vistani carved amulet that's hanging around your neck.
Sorry, you cut out there for me. What happened?
He's looking at the small Vistani charm on our necks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or she, I should say.
She. So you also kind of notice, like, one of you probably kind of like looks back out the tent flap from which you came, and you see just black void beyond. The camp out from which you first met Madame Ava seems to be completely gone. You seem to be just in maybe some small pocket dimension or something. But you do not seem to be in Barovia, as far as you can tell. There seems to be absolutely nothing outside of this tent.
Weird.
What the fuck?
This is like some
Walk
sort of
outside
safe
anyway.
point.
Just like purgatory. I'm gonna walk outside.
Oh god.
You basically start to take a step outside, and Madame Ava says, "I wouldn't do that if I were you." And as you kind of like put a foot outside, you feel like nothing beneath of it. Like as you kind of go to like step outside
Okay.
the door, you feel that it's just thin air.
I just wanted to know what kind of purgatory we're in.
Yeah, it does. There does not seem to be walkable space outside of the tent.
Yeah.
What is it she wants with these amulets? Seems to know
She doesn't
something
want
about
anything,
them.
but she knows something about it.
Know about these things.
She says, "It's like perhaps, I know things about this land, about perhaps the reason you are here, but like those amulets that you wear, they are Vistani in nature, but they are not of Barovia. Like, what are they, and where did you get them?"
Well, we weren't exactly told that whatever.
Yeah, we don't really know much about them either. We were just told they would protect us.
Buddy of
Someone
ours,
that
Graf
was
Buren,
here.
That is his
gave
real
them
name.
to us and said that they would protect us from Barovia's effects. Whatever that meant.
He
She
was
tells
here at one
she kind of like, it looks like she's sort of like recalling something in her memory, and she says, "I do not know that name. Like I know the name of every stranger that has visited this land in the past several hundred years, but his name is foreign to me. I did know a woman some 20 years ago who passed through here, a Jocelyn Buren. But I know not of this person you speak."
Well,
Well, that would be his wife.
was his wife?
Or it would be his wife, I guess.
Graf never said if he sent. She just got lost. She didn't come.
Yeah, she
here
just
on
slept in
purpose.
the woods.
And so
Yeah.
Wasn't she
Okay, so
guiding
she's
They
probably
were
not
on.
the
They
house.
were on
guiding
like an
somebody.
expedition.
Yeah,
Or
she was like
something
a
like
guide
that.
for someone.
yeah, Madame Ava tells you, I guess she came here with a group of, she came here with a group, as part of a group, several scholars and adventurers. They met with most of them met with a not fortunate end. Clearly, you all
one
have
of these
some.
necklaces?
Clearly, you all seem to know of this place somehow. Something which should be impossible. Like, why are you here?
We don't
Well,
really
I don't.
know.
I don't know if
We
I
do.
can divulge.
We do
if we
know.
should divulge that information.
Well, I don't, so.
Let me insight
So-
track her to see if I can at least pick up whether she's, I don't know, nefarious or something.
Sure.
Insight go!
She's going to roll a commensurative check. You definitely are sure that she is. You don't think she's outright, like, evil or anything like that, or that she's plotting against you. She's definitely holding something. There's definitely things she knows that she has not divulged to you as of this time. And there does seem to be more to her than just a old woman fortune teller, like basically what you were led to believe Madame Ava was.
Okay, well,
So-
I'll tell her that she knows more than she's letting on. If she comes clean, we'll come clean.
So you know how you guys age, and no one else in Barovia ages, and everything resets every once in a while?
May not know that.
She's going to
Do they
tell
realize
you.
when it happens?
Well, because Vistani generally are outside the cycle.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if she is. She might be more integral to the plot, so she might be resetting every
she-
time. But
She tells you, perhaps I do. And she says, what does this have to do with why you are here?
well, an outside force, not Strahd, he is using this place as I don't know the word battery, as a
It's a-
source.
Soul drain.
Soul farm?
Soul pool.
Yes.
Soul forge. Soul.
Soul Caliber.
soul.
Font of soul magic.
Soul Calibur 2.
So, She just kind of like looks at you and says, "I see. So you
So we were
are."
sent to stop it, so that this place can get back on with itself, and also so that we can stop another plane from destroying itself. Not really destroying itself, but
So-
being destroyed.
So she kind of looks at you and says, "I see. Perhaps it is time that something is done about this place. I knew that things would not continue on the way they were forever. That eventually someone would come to this place to shut it down. That's probably the wrong word for it, but
We're too advanced in our civilization to disregard all
End
that
of
tech.
the cycle.
yeah. So she tells you that I know of this cycle of which you speak. I was put in charge of maintaining this place, this shell of what Barovia has become.
I mean, are you in control of the cycle? Can you shut it down, please?
She tells you that I am not the one who instituted this place. I made a bargain and agreed to live on as its caretaker. Yeah, that's basically what she says. She says, I made a deal, and as part of that, I had agreed to stay here and live on forever as a caretaker, to watch over this place and maintain it.
I mean, the problem with caretaking it, and this is serving your interests in a way, is that eventually it's going to power whatever is going to destroy our plane of existence, and then this place no longer gets people coming in because everyone's dead.
She tells you that after a time, I managed to work that out. That whatever Barovia was being used for was of ill intent, but I had made my choice, and it was too late to go back on it. You see, I gave up myself and my soul to return my brother to this place. It was this familial love that drove me to making this bargain with that sorcerer.
Oh, family's a
Who's
bitch.
your brother?
So she tells you that what's the best way for her to say this? I am the child of a Vistani woman and the man known as King Barov, father of Strahd von Zarovich.
Of course you are.
Oh, okay.
So she says that my mother was one of King Barov's conquests during one of his many campaigns in his life as a conqueror and a military general. After Strahd took this land of Barovia, I came here. My mother had told me who my father was, and I came here to try to get to know them. When I was young, I took up a job as a serving girl working for the von Zarovich family. And I was there that night, the night when Strahd killed his brother and turned into the monster that he would become. After that, I made a pact. I prayed to the goddess Mother Night, who gave me the gift of eternal life and the ability to see, like the ability of clairvoyance.
Is that Shar?
And so she doesn't know who. Yeah, she would say Shar, and she is not entirely sure. She just knows her as Mother Night. But it could be. Yeah, it does sound like something that Shar would be called. You think?
Well, religion check
she's
me or no?
yeah, sure. Give me a religion check. Yeah, you think Mother Night could be referring to Shar? That like does kind of fit with the MO of that particular goddess.
Shar-related stuff.
She's like, my youth was taken from me, and I was transformed into this, and she just kind of like gestures to herself. And I helped lead the Vistani, and I helped guide adventurers who came into this land in the hopes of finally bringing my brother peace, or perhaps finding someone to replace him, so that he could be freed of this place. Until one day, about 200 years ago, a particularly robust group of adventurers killed him. When all was said and done, Barovia was returned to the natural world, and I went to Castle Ravenloft. There I found the body of my brother in the main throne room, just sort of splayed across the large stone throne. As I wept over his corpse, I was approached by a man. He appeared to be just this middle-aged human man, but I could sense that there was something far more insidious to him. He told me that this is the dread plain of Barovia. Not quite what I'd envisioned, but it's quite a interesting place. He introduced himself as Sarah. S-E-R-A.
Michael.
Introduced himself as Michael Sarah. He's like, hey, this is a pretty cool place you got. It's nice. What do you want to do with that? You want to eat that corpse? Can I have it? So he tells her that, what if I was to tell you that this does not have to be the end of your brother? I could bring him back. I could bring all of Barovia back to the way it was. See, I need the energy. I need a source of power. One such that the human soul could provide. If you were to offer your services to stay in this place and watch over it, I could return your brother to you. And you instead can continue your work guiding people here, and putting them through Barovia, bringing in fresh souls to feed this machine. She says that, distraught, I took him up on his offer, not really understanding what he wanted. And soon he used his powers to reinstate Barovia the way it was. He returned it to a time when, before the adventurers came through, returning it to sort of a state from my memory, a time that I had remembered the place. He had even brought my brother back, and although he was more of a dark construct than a man now, he still retained, much of his guile and intelligence, and I thought that perhaps in time I could find some other way to restore him or put him to rest properly.
So this is like a band-aid for you.
She said, yes, after 200 years of watching people die, watching people kill my brother over and over again, and the hundreds that fail at it, this. I felt that this cycle needs to end. Unfortunately, the only way to do so would be to defeat the man who instituted this place. There's not really much I can do about it.
Well, you wouldn't happen to know where to find him, right?
She says that I can open a door to his, not his home, but the place where I can open the door to the place where you will find him. It is a plane known as Void Harrow. She says,
Do you know if he's gonna be right there when we land, or will we have some time to not be dead?
Yeah, we probably look really beat up.
We'd probably be good to get a rest if we can. Can we get some rest?
I'll say that she will allow you to essentially just like sleep on the floor of her tent.
Very cramped.
In this sort of this world outside of time.
Right.
So you guys get the benefit of a long rest. So she tells you that it's like, now that you're rested, it's probably even more of a like you guys like actually like don't like curl up and cook food and go to sleep. It's she probably more like casts some kind of sleep spell on you, and you guys all just sort of fade out and fade back in, and you're feeling way better.
Yeah, just pass out.
Cool.
So she says, yes, I don't know what you will find there, but I know this Sarah was, he was evil and powerful, and I know he will be there. This is all I can tell you.
Well, that's what we came here for.
No, we're kind of in the business of dealing with evil and powerful people right now.
Do it.
She says, very well. And she also tells you it's... actually, no, she wouldn't know that. Never mind. Never mind. It's fine. So she kind of waves her hand over her crystal ball thing, and when you kind of... And she kind of gestures towards the front door of her tent. And as you kind of pull the curtain aside, it seems to have become this, like, pool of light. Like some kind of portal.
I'm gonna cast Mage Armor before we go in, before all this, while
Yep.
all this is happening. Mage Armor!
Going in, boys.
Boo!
Okay.
I will pick up my familiar, and then we'll walk through, because I forgot about my familiar was already here.
Doesn't it disappear?
It can disappear if I wanted to.
So you guys, you guys are enveloped by light and darkness, and when you come to, you find yourself in an immense dark chamber, a sort of gigantic temple's not really the right word for it, but you seem to be this gigantic stone structure, and you stand upon a balcony, and across from you, across this giant gaping dark pit, you see a similar stone balcony, and I think
There we go.
you see a similar stone balcony across from you, and then another one below it, and another one below it, and another one below it, until about close to 100 feet down, you see this jagged sea of what looks like black obsidian. In this sea of obsidian, you see gigantic metal chains that seem to snake in and out and attach to different points around the structure. You do not see a ceiling above you. It eventually just disappears into darkness. And down below, you see many figures that seem to be tirelessly working, excavating something out of the just giant sea of obsidian. Kind of looking at them, they sort of look like some of them look like your friend Dakar. So they look kind of like your Githzerai friend, and some of them look like kind of robed cultisty looking guys.
See some weirdness off in the distance there.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at.
That's what they're excavating.
Yeah,
Definitely.
not
When you say a sea of obsidian, you mean like it's solid rock, right?
Yep. Seems like you're not sure if it's actually obsidian, but it looks like jagged black stone.
Okay, cool.
Like-
But it looks like ocean waves, just basically solid. Though.
Pretty much. Like it goes up and down and undulates, and there's like big spikes of it kind of sticking up everywhere. It's definitely not just like a flat surface. And there's sort of a big bulge in the middle that like most of them seem to be kind of focused around. And there seems to be some kind of strange face underneath of
Hell
it.
yeah,
that
they're focused on the bulge.
Oh yeah. The place you said you were told you were going was Void Horror.
How far
that-
down is the obsidian from where we're at? Or is
100
it
feet or
more
so.
less?
You also notice that there seems to be... the entire area, too, is lit dimly with little gray globes. They seem to just... There's hundreds of them floating around this place. They seem eerily similar to the gray globes you saw when you were in the Shadowfell, that were used to kind of like light different areas of Sarshan's tower, the portal area that you came out of when you got to the Shadowfell.
There, Sean. Well,
So, and yeah.
Can
Far-
I see
Yeah, I would say
anyone that's important or not doing anything?
it doesn't really look like it. Like, it all... Just kind of glancing around, you just see a bunch of grunts, what it looks like. All of them seem to be digging or, like, hauling stuff away. You don't really see anybody supervising at all. You also notice at the far, far end of the balcony some kind of archway and possibly, like, a passage that either goes down or, like, loops around the side. It's kind of like that Demon Souls level, the, like, prison level, where it's just... You have, like, all these just levels of balcony on one side with giant pit in the middle.
Yeah.
I didn't bother actually drawing the rest of it on the other side, because it's pretty far out there.
Yeah. So let's move along this until we can find something new.
Pyro's going to make a religion check to see if he knows what that thing is.
It also fixes health bar.
Nah, he's fine this way.
It's fine.
Oh, I haven't been keeping track of Pyro's.
XP?
XP, shit.
I mean,
Plus 842.
I mean, I had all the last, like, couple of sessions.
Oh, yeah.
He should be the exact same as either Dado or Jez. Yeah, he should be...
Me then, because I'm the same
He
as
should
him.
be... No, he should be the same as Jez. He should be the same as Jez.
yeah, so it's 19,637.
19,637. Just so that I have that, because otherwise I don't want to try and get this later. He was making a religion check. Religion check!
Nat 1. Nat 19.
It's not fucking bad for Pyro. So Pyro's able to tell you that he believes this is a deity known as Thurisdan, the Chained God. That he was a deity hungry for power, and he seized a shard of pure evil. And then he basically he tried to plant... he was supposed to plant the seed of evil in the astral sea, but ended up... he ended up like putting it in the elemental chaos instead, and ended up creating... the seed eventually grew into the dark plane known as the Abyss. And the other gods were like, dude, like, that's not cool. And they imprisoned him here in, like, the sort of... This is kind of his demi-plane, and they imprisoned him here. And he became known as the Chained God. It looks like perhaps whoever's running this place is trying to free him. Or do something with him.
These are probably all the souls that have been gathered.
Is his face moving, or is it pretty motionless?
Doesn't seem to be moving.
Okay.
His concept of time is probably nowhere near us.
Or does it have a concept of time?
Dormammu, I've come to Bergen.
Oh yeah, The only way you really see forward is probably the passage at the far, far end of the balcony.
Let's go.
So,
We're gonna continue on this. Yeah.
so you guys continue down along the balcony.
We're leaving.
Eventually, you get to the end, and there's a big archway, and the archway seems to lead to a set of stairs. And the stairs, you go down them, they curl around, eventually reaching a small kind of hallway that leads to... you basically descend these things down, 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 and then off like to the side, away from this big central chamber. And eventually it leads you out to another small balcony that seems to overlook... some underground kind of cavern. And there, you kind of peer over the edge, and you see a familiar-looking person. An older man with scars all over his face. A man that you know as Sarshan, the weapons dealer. He seems to be conversing with a man with... It's got, like, purplish, grayish skin. He looks like... I've got to actually...
Oh, that means their OTP name is Sarashan. He looks like he used to be good.
So as you guys kind of like creep in and peer over the edge, you hear Sarshan ask the figure, "Sir, is the new body, is it satisfactory?" And you see like the purple figure kind of like stretching its hands and like moving like its arms and that around. He's like, "Yes, this will do for now. This, this body does seem to have some... It is a better conduit for my latent power than my previous one. How you were able to acquire it, I'm not even going to ask, but you've done well, Sarshan."
Oh shit, he was a literal arms dealer this time.
Yeah, give me... Anybody that gives a shit, give me a religion check.
I give a shit.
I'm gonna close this. I'm getting a weird
Always
slowdown on
forgetting
this.
shit.
Wow, I'm getting like a weird, crazy slowdown on this map for some
Black
reason.
gave the most shit.
So half of you are able to tell that it appears that the one he's talking to seems to be some kind of celestial, perhaps a deva or a planar. You're not really sure which, but definitely this body they seem to be referring to is one of a celestial of some kind, probably a planar, who you are aware is quite a like powerful being in and of itself. So if this thing is whatever this man or something has taken over a planar, it's got to be the real deal. So they continue to carry on their conversation, sort of unbeknownst to the fact that you guys are there. And he says, "The Githyanki, have they found it yet?" Darshan, he's like, "No, sir. They're still looking for it. Perhaps we need to try another method. I could have some of my agents kidnap the wizard and force him to tell us where he sent it." He's like, "No, The other one just sort of like looks back at him, kind of like a precocious child, and says, "No, I do not wish to provoke the King of Neverwinter and his allies just yet. Do you forget what happened to Tiamat about a year ago?" It's like, "No, if you just inform the Githyanki that if they want the material plane, as I had promised, they will find me that Mythalar." You see Sarshan kind of like... He sort of like starts kind of like bowing low and stammering. You guys have only had sort of like one brief meeting with him, but everything you know about him, he seems to be a very capable leader and confident. but this guy seems to be turning him into like a cowering henchman, which seems to be a bit disconcerting. He's like, yes, yes, sir. So he tells him that it's like it doesn't matter. You know, like the Githyanki can have the material plane for all I care. Like once my plans are finished and I have gained my godhood, I will destroy all the planes. I will remake this entire universe as I see fit. So, but I need that Mythalar. So have them hurry up and get it for me. I mean, the astral plane is not infinite. They should have been able to find it by now. Sarshan's just like, sir, yes, sir. Then he also asks him, it's like, those adventurers, those meddling heroes you talked about, the ones who destroyed your precious Umbra Forge. It seems they are more capable than you gave them credit for.
Hey, he's talking about us.
Sarshan just kind of looks at him and is like, sir? He's like, yes. I mean, they're here. Now. Listening to us.
You.
And then you see him just sort of disappear, and he kind of reappears behind all of you.
Like on the upper ledge, or?
Oh yeah, and the stairs.
Oh, in the stair. Okay.
The stairs directly behind all of you. And he says,
Oh, hi.
I have not had to deal with heroes in some time. But it's like, do you really think that you can stand in the way of a future god?
I mean, you're not a god yet.
So you see him kind of like wave a hand around, like he just kind of like gently like picks up his one hand, and this like little purple swirly thing of energy kind of traces around his finger, and you guys feel like wind, a giant gust of wind, like open up behind you, and you kind of glance over your shoulders and see this giant purple portal swirling behind you, and says, it's like most people would be inclined to kill you now. I don't really believe that's necessary. You cannot stop me. You cannot even slow me down. Soon your world, and all worlds, will be destroyed and remade in my image. So perhaps I'll let you live long enough to see it. And you see, as you guys... I will need all of you guys to make strength saving throws. As, like, the wind from this portal is, like... Basically, the suction from the portal is starting to sweep all of you off your feet.
Video.
Oh.
Yeah, Pharaoh's getting us all.
Old man strength.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Dusty.
Oh, man. Jeez.
I'm just gonna roll a raw die for Pyro. That's a 2. So...
Oh my god.
the last thing that 5 of you hear before you're sucked into the portal is, I wish for you to enjoy my former home. May you find it comfortable as you watch your world burn around you. And you all disappear into the portal as Dusty... Like, if you want to, you can take a crack shot at him as you're...
Like punching him in the face?
No, I want to shoot him.
So, Lawaj, you shoot at him, and your arrow just harmlessly, like, bounces off, like his face. Just, like, hits him square in the cheek and doesn't even, like, make a depression. It just bounces and pings off.
That's definitely not gonna hit them.
It's that...
I'm not even gonna try. Like, shit, man. Dude just opened the portal behind us. Like,
I just want to shoot him for the sheer, not intimidation, but to let him know that I will shoot at him.
So the five of you
No,
get
Let him know
sucked.
you're not afraid.
Five of you get sucked off into a portal. Old man
Oh,
Dusty is
God.
still like he's
Dusty.
hanging on to like the edge of the ledge,
Uh,
and the figure, possibly known as Sarah, if that is his real name, goes over, and just kind of like he just kind of like bends down as like Dusty at this point is like horizontal as he's like holding on to this thing, getting sucked in, and he's just sort of kneels down and kind of like turns his head sideways and it's like,
Long live the god.
perhaps. And it's like, you are an interesting old man, aren't you?
goddamn right I am.
And then
Everyone's always making deals with Dusty.
so all of you guys get sucked into the portal, feel yourselves tumbling in darkness for what seems like almost an eternity until you are spit out.
You want me to not look?
Oh God.
It's fine, you don't have to.
Oh no.
Your figure's not on here to.
Oh my
Okay.
fucking
Not
god.
this place. No.
Oh no.
Oh, I can't. Where are we? I can't see.
No.
So yeah, you guys spit yourselves out into, or you're spit out into darkness, and I just lost half my monster manual. That's fine.
Oh, this is definitely made before I had the sun sword.
Can't see shit.
Yeah, well, you were also kind of unconscious.
guys-
You guys basically wake up here. It's not so much.
You're having war flashbacks.
So,
I mean, we're all there.
so you guys find yourselves. I'm guessing at some point somebody's going to crack some kind of light to be able to see.
I'll cast light on something.
Zero.
Okay, I'll just put it on Jez with his. What is it? 60-30?
Yeah.
40-20.
Well, I mean his sun
Oh.
sword. His sun sword can go to 60.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
I think.
Oh my.
So, you guys, hey you guys. So, you guys find yourselves in a large 30-foot high chamber. The air is just musty and old and stale. There's just like dust everywhere. Like this place seems to be, this place seems to be completely, like it doesn't seem like any living soul has been in here in quite some time. The first thing you do notice is that Dusty does not seem to be anywhere here. He doesn't seem to be with you. You notice a forest of columns that stretch from the floor to the ceiling of this gigantic room. It looks like they all were once colored, many different colors, seemingly at random, but the paint that once held them is faded and chipped away. You see a stone dais to the south with a black obsidian throne that seems to be just cracked and weathered from age. To the north, you see a big closed door to the west of you. To the north, you see several kind of closets. Like there seems to be a closet in the northwest corner and like a closet in the northeast corner. All the doors are just battered, like just splintered and on the ground. There seems to be a further chamber to the north. In the northwest and northeast corner, about 20 some odd feet in the air, there's a large visage of a devil face with a giant gaping mouth. Looks like it's made out of like green rock of some kind, jade perhaps. Many of the features seem to be lost to time as the visages are like cracked and broken and chunks of them are like lying on the floor below. And you do see some glinting, what looks like magical glinting writing or something to the north in the room above you. Like even through the darkness, this sort of faded glinting writing scrawled on the far wall seems to kind of be the only thing you really can make out in great detail.
Do I recognize what language it is?
You'd have to go up and read it.
I start panicking because Dusty isn't here.
Losing one person at a time every time we make a jump.
Oh,
Right,
have we lost
one
enough
square to the
people?
north. Methodically.
Yep.
Okay. Walk another square to the north.
Sure.
Alright, where's the writing?
Past this weird little closet thing, there seems to be another door behind it, and it's in the room beyond it.
Well, I don't know where we are, but try to figure out where we are.
It's Michael Sarah's home.
Michael Sarah's home.
The Bluth house.
This is where he now lives with Juno.
I see bodies on the floor in there.
So, as you guys kind of step inside, you see cracked and broken swords and shields kind of strewn all over the floor. It looks like maybe they once hung here prominently some time ago, but now they're like broken and just broken, chipped, pretty much completely useless at this point. Ahead, you see decayed. Probably they would be skeletons at this point. You see like a few like skeletal shapes lying on the floor. Decrepit, old-looking corpses.
Something tells me you shouldn't go in there.
Are there any like loose stones around? Or is it just
Probably loose stones everywhere, as this place seems to be in some disrepair, as if nobody's been here for a very, very long time.
I'll chuck one into this room and see if anything attacks it.
Okay. You throw it through the doorway, and it just kind of bounces and cracks along on the floor, and nothing happens. You can kind of hear it echoing off the big cavernous room behind you, and after that, silence.
I will try to step through the doorway.
Okay.
Still alive?
Yep.
Still
Whatever you guys are expecting to happen doesn't seem to be happening.
Still
Well,
alive.
I assume because of lots of things here that, like arrow trap or something.
I want to ask Wacky for some light too, if she doesn't mind.
Oh, yeah. I'll cast it.
Cast it on my person or my.
I don't know, guess recorder stuff or something.
That's fine.
Something that you can't cover.
I wouldn't do it anyways, even if I could. But
I only really wish I had a 10-foot pole.
Same though.
story of my life, right?
I'm pretty sure that would kill you, Bones.
Once again, you're confusing inches with feet.
Well, if the news can do it, so can I.
Go through it to our deaths.
All
Okay.
right.
That's the water runs.
You guys
inside of-
take so long. I just go.
Okay.
I was waiting for someone else to move ahead. So we're all
Alright,
bunched up.
so quick look at these bodies, just like I don't know much, but what are they?
You'd have to get closer.
Alright, I'll get a little closer.
They look kind of rubbery.
I'm gonna try again.
They look like decayed corpses, bones that have all but turned to dust at this point.
There was equipment strewn around the room, or no?
The room that you just crossed, there was swords and shields all kind of piled up haphazardly on the floor, like all broken and decayed and rusted, and
None of them look good then, obviously.
No.
it all looked like garbage.
So the writing is on this back wall?
I want to take a look at the writing too.
Yeah, you see what looks like a few sentences that seem to be scrawled in magical letters. The letters seem to be fairly faded, as if the magic that once placed them here has all but faded from this place. And it
Don't
seems
open
to
dead
say,
inside.
"You who dared to violate my tomb now pay the price. Stay here and die slowly of starvation, or open and enter the door to the south, where a certain but quick death awaits. Whichever you choose, know that I, Acererak the Eternal, watch and scoff at your puny efforts.
Michael Acererak.
And that
God.
is the end of Season 1 of D&D.
Oh, even though you don't mean to tie it in with Chult, you did.
So this is the part where I go into a rant of, I wrote this campaign, or at least the backbone of it, over a year ago at this point. Long before the fucking Tomb of Annihilation thing was announced. So fuck you, Wizards. Fuck you. I know that Chris Perkins started working on this over 2 years ago, but I don't care. Fuck you guys. Stealing my thunder. Stealing my... The second I saw that post, like when they announced the Stream of Annihilation, and I saw that green face, I was like, fuck you guys. You couldn't have waited. Couldn't have waited like till next season.
Is that why we did that one-off in here a long time ago? So you could like
Few
explore
more?
stuff?
Yeah.
No, that was me.
No, that was Jez that ran that.
That
Did I
was
give you the
completely-
idea?
So,
That was completely unrelated.
nope. So, that's going to do it for Season 1 of Dungeons & Dragons.
Panic!
So,
No data.
Our old man is gone.
The Discord.
well, thank you guys for coming out. Also, thank you if you've actually been following us through the whole season so far. The plan right now is to come back September 18th. I think it is the tentative return of D&D. Might get pushed back another week. We'll see, but I'm hoping to bring it back the 18th. But with PAX and Destiny 2 coming out and that, we're going to be kind of tied up for the next few Mondays. So this seems like a good place to end it. So I'm going to thank you guys for coming to the stream. Thank you for watching this on Twitch or YouTube or wherever you have. We'll see you guys soon. Goodbye for now.
Bye.
Alrighty.